All right, I think the stream has started now properly. Let me send a message to the Discord. And we can get on with things. Whoa, forgot I had shaders on. Let's do that so we don't lag too much. And change our FOV because I was taking pictures. Hello to everyone in the chat. Flying over to Brewerstown now, over the hills. Evan the Historian says, what's good, chat? So, if things will load in, I might have to up my render distance just a little bit here. There we go. I thought this was medieval. Was that a factory? Yes, it was. So, fly back just for a moment. This specifically is a medieval build, but Trador has different flavors and different varieties in different places. So Regensburg is more like a mix of 17th and 18th century with Victorian stuff and a bunch of other kind of mishmashy bits. The White Buffalo says, can we see where on the map? I don't have a mini-map mod. If you guys go to either the map video or the community tab on my channel, you can find a map of Trador, or on the Planet Minecraft. But this is Regensburg. This was the big thing I was doing from May to December, actually. This took me forever. And around here is about central Trador. Yeah, some places are more developed. So places like this are like still starting up, whereas Regensburg is like way more settled. If you go to a place like Anchorage, for instance, it's more like Viking themed, so it's really I guess from a socioeconomic point of view, they're not doing great. But if we come through here, this is Dewberry, and this is getting into the Castle Stoneheart lands. So, oh, thank you, Recoil. I use Axiom. I tried to learn World Edit like 10 years ago, and it never went well for me. I never could really get a hold of it. Axiom I found is a lot easier. Do you have any advice for setting up the lore for a world like this? I'd say you have to start with the buildings. I think the lore comes secondary, but you have to start with some kind of foundation before you can get into talking about the lore. Oh, and you guys might hear I have a texture pack or a mod or something that changes my audio. So I get echoes in some buildings now when I place blocks, like when it rains and stuff. I don't know if you guys are gonna hear that if I go in some of these buildings, but yeah, I've been working on the Brewerstown outskirts. I used World Edit, but I switched to Axiom. Axiom is your best friend for terraforming. Amen to that. I find Axiom is just really, what's the word? It's not just that it's simple, it's that it makes sense. Like it clicks in my brain really well. That if I just like I press certain buttons and it just works, you know? My only issue with Axiom actually is that my painter, I don't have like the active block thing anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but I had my active block selection and one day it just disappeared and it never came back. Who is the global superpower? It's definitely Regensburg for sure. If you talk about like land area or whatever, like Regensburg doesn't cover the biggest proportion of land. But in terms of things like economic output, they are absolutely dominating. And I guess in most meaningful metrics, it is really Regensburg. But not just because of its size, because they can dominate most of the markets in the world. Like they're the only place that has factories. They're the only place that's producing some specific things like paper, which like everyone needs paper basically. But Regensburg is one of the few places where you can actually get it. If you guys caught the sign video earlier today, these are some of the new signs that I've been putting up because most of Brewerstown is illiterate. Again, we're going for a medieval theme, so they're relying on street signs basically with like pictographs. That's the word. Trying to scan the chat here. I'm not used to having this many comments. Who's your most active subscriber? I'm not sure. It's a good question, I guess. Maybe someone in this chat, but I couldn't really say. And strongest military is kind of a weird one. So technically, the strongest military in this world is probably Castle Stoneheart or Castle Leslie, just because those places have the most beds for soldiers. Like I just went through and I created places that have tons of beds, but that's not really a realistic answer. Like if you want the actual answer, it's probably Regensburg. Because they have huge walls, and that's like a huge part of having a strong military is nobody being able to just like attack you. So it's a pretty important thing. I've been working on Brewerstown, as you can see, and I've been doing some work on the inside of this keep and a little bit like the shell around it. Someone said, "What is Song of Ice?" A Soyaf is, or Asswife, is a Song of Ice and Fire. It's the books that Game of Thrones is based on. And someone says, "I'd love to see like a nomadic tribe shown somewhere." That's a cool idea. I've never thought about portraying nomadism in my world, really. I mean, I have like tents and stuff, but that's not cultural nomadism. That's just a guy who. Oh, there's that echo I was talking about. Hold on. Because this room is pretty empty. What inspired you to build Brewerstown as illiterate? So I'm trying to be more historically accurate with this build. So I'll show you. So things like most of the houses have thatch roofs. The the paths, even important paths, are all just made out of dirt. Things like that. Like there are hops for the brewery. Things like there's almost no glass, and if people have glass, then it's always facing toward the street. So the only places that you'll see most people having glass windows in Brewerstown is on like these kinds of windows. They'll never have it for a backyard because it's too expensive. It's more of a status symbol. Things like that. So in the Middle Ages, most people were illiterate, but there is this house, which is going to be a scribe. So the scribe basically works in the castle most of the time, but he can also like write important documents for you, stuff like that. Evan the Historian says, I like the echo. Me too. I also have a mod that makes it like it changes the weather sounds. So if you combine the two, you get some really cool atmosphere. Are there any warmongering nations like a villain in Trador? Um, I'd say the Stoneheart kind of faction is a bit warmongering, but I wouldn't say villainous. I think that's too strong of a word to use. Um, I don't know. I guess that's all perspective as well, but I never really think of any of my places as being evil. Like I've never really built like an evil castle. Even the Dread Fort, which is based directly off of A Song of Ice and Fire, isn't like it's not actually evil. Like it's not really based off of the Dread Fort that much. It's just a name that I wanted to use because I think it sounds good. I realize that I haven't done this bit here. The important part with texturing is that for me, like the weathering should be consistent. So if this part is weathered, this column should be weathered. But if this is pretty nice, then this should be pretty nice, basically. That's my logic for it. There we go. Not bad, not bad. I don't know, I might Is that too much? I'm not sure. Do you have a survival world? I do have a survival world. One of the live streams that I did here a little while back was in the survival world when I was trying out the new trial chambers. I just don't play survival that much because I get pretty burnt out on survival really easily. Someone asking, is Regensburg advanced enough to produce early automobiles? I don't think so because they don't have a big steel industry. And I think that's, well, or rubber. So there is currently no rubber in Trador, and I think that's holding people back, probably. Not that I know much about car manufacturer, but I think steel and rubber are the two big ones. There we go. And we probably need a gate here. I've been using a lot of spruce wood. I might make this a bigger gate. Hold on. Let me see what I did before. How long are you gonna stream today? If it goes well, like 2 hours. If it starts, if something like happens or whatever, probably like an hour. The last stream on this channel ended because I spilled my entire water bottle all over my desk and everything that was on my desk. So that's what I mean by it ending, like around an hour or something. Do they have steam engines though? They do not. And my favorite era of history is probably medieval or early modern. Let's see, how closed can I make this? Okay, that's kind of tough. This might need to open out. Hold on. That's blocking an awful lot. I'm just gonna make it trapdoors. I don't want to block this view too much. I want it to feel inviting. Here. Does that work? I don't know. The true villain of Tredegor, the water bottle of the nation known as real life. Yeah. Well, you know, real life's a bitch sometimes. Let's see. I'm gonna figure this one out. I've been doing a lot of my doors like this. It doesn't really feel right for it to open outward though. Like that feels weird. Whoops. So basically, Tredegor Province, what the U.S. would be without the Articles of Confederation. I'm Canadian, so I know of things like that, but I don't really know what they are. Okay, this is a conundrum. Maybe I can bend it back in here. Like so. Like so. And then scooch this up by 1. So we put this here. And this like so. That kind of works. Yeah, that works. I think that works well enough for me. Maybe I'll even do it a double door so they overlap when you close them. No, it closes it off too much. I care more about the sight line of having this feel like a really open thing than actually doing like defensive things. HRE basically. Like the outward gate, but inward makes sense. Yeah, I feel like it needs to. Because hold on, like as a defensive thing, you would never want somebody to like pull the door open. I feel like you want them to like push it open. I don't know. Maybe I watched too many movies. I have a movie list with my girlfriend. I think we're up to like 300 movies right now. That's the inside of this place. I'm gonna remove that though, because it doesn't really make sense. Since inward, the guards could just block it off with stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like you can just put like wooden stakes and like stuff like that. Oh, so basically, I haven't figured out what's gonna go here. It has to be something eye-catching for like so that you want to come in, basically. There's gonna be something here, but so far this is just grass, and then this is a little garden. Over here we have dog kennels. And this is a smithy. So in the video I posted today, I talked about the fact that I've been using like block entities and stuff like that. Somebody's asking about the economy. So the economy for this place is mostly beer because it's called Brewerstown. Um, that's roughly it, but not everyone works in beer. Just I'd say probably about a quarter, maybe a fifth of the people work in the beer brewing industry. But yeah, we have some display entities here for this forge area. You can see over here there is a golden sword in there because it's supposed to look like a hot sword. And there is a bellows. So this is like the big bag, and then you pull this down and it pushes down on this bit of air here. There's one thing I forgot to do though, and that is texturing on these wooden beams. So hold on. Like so. And like so. That's good enough. There we go. So a lot like the vineyard in Medina. Yeah, like a lot of people work at the vineyard. Are there cannons or catapults? Maybe those big arrows. Oh, big arrows are ballistae. Oh, and then this pit is... So this is a horse stable with a small entrance to this room. So this is going to be the granary for the castle. This is a kitchen area. That was the main floor, and then this is a cellar, basically, like for barrels. Hold on. Trying to read the chat. I've never had to read this many messages before. I'm not used to it. Someone mentioned basically cannons or catapults, and the idea that I'm going to go for, if I feel up to it, like if I finish the main castle and like half of this town and I still feel like I have energy, what I'm going to do is come out here, terraform this, put in a small port. So I'm going to put in like a couple of piers and maybe a building or two. And then this is going to be a war camp where there was a big battle because they were essentially trying to tear down the walls of the city. So over here, you can see that there are holes in the wall. And then if we fly over, there's this big area here where it's like pristine flat stone where they just fixed it up because they're still making their way along after the engagement. But this would be like a big kind of like a campsite with like blood and swords on the ground and like a ruined catapult, probably a ruined trebuchet or a mangonel, something in that region. Asian Polynesian is fine. My only real issue with it is I'm never gonna do like I don't think I'm ever gonna do something Japanese for the reason that if you guys have been on Twitter, there are so many good Japanese artists, and it would be like I don't want to say pointless, but it would feel like kind of silly, I guess, to try at something that I've never done before and do it with the knowledge that like other people are doing it way better and with more informed kind of I don't want to say informed views, but like people who are Japanese building Japanese stuff can undoubtedly do it in a more mindful way than I can. And that's just my view on the matter, I guess. Okay, what's happening here? I know I built this on a bad... I built this on evens instead of odds. Okay, I have to do that bit from the inside. So I don't know. I guess it'll be like that. And then we'll take a couple of these. Little slab. Here, let me take a dripstone. And then that way it looks like somebody's basically been stepping on this. I'm not sure how loud this is, but I'm going to turn it down just a notch. Okay, and now to show you basically how I've been doing this, which is... Whoops, wrong button. Okay, so coming into my big Axiom screen, clicking the block that I want. Right now I want to do grass. Then going into Noise Painter, I've come up with a couple of presets, all for Brewerstown, because I've never really done this before. But this one is called Path Brewerstown. And if I come inside here, I can go like that, and then it's textured. And not only is it textured, it's textured at the same frequency as everything else. So it kind of just makes sense, I guess. Here's a spot where I need to do it again. There we go. And I've kind of decided what all of the fields are going to be. I just haven't like done it properly yet. Hold on. That was better like that. There we go. What was your first ever build on this world? What inspired you to make this world? I've talked about it a little bit, but my first build was Marsh Castle. And basically I built it and it sucked and I hated it for like a while. Hold on. I wasn't happy with it for like a good while, and then I came back in, and when the new candles came out in 1.17, basically I came back, and what I did was, I hate the uneven, like, oh, it's bothering me. I'm just gonna clip, like, hold on. So here's a little Axiom tutorial for people who don't know how to use it. But basically, you can select a bit, drag it. Gonna clear that. Select, fill, and then I'm just gonna fill it with air. There we go. It's like it never happened. It was never here. Right. So I wasn't happy with the build at all, and I felt like it really sucked, but I came back in and I did some more work on it, and I was like, okay, this is fine. And at that time, COVID hit, so I suddenly had a lot of free time, and there's a space really near to, how did this still end up weird? Okay, no, it's fine. There's a space really near to the Marsh Castle that's like a really natural port formation. If you guys ever look at the seed, you'll see that like it just makes sense. So basically what I did was I went in and I turned the like natural port into a proper port, and that was Newport. So that's how that got started. Basically, it was a build that I hated and then worked out for a while, and after giving it some love and giving it the time that it needed, it basically became the center of my world. One thing I've been trying to do in this build specifically is work a lot with rafters. So you can see here that there are, basically you can always like see the actual roof material through the roof, but you also can see that there's a support structure. My only real issue is that this is supposed to look like thatch, and I feel like it doesn't. I don't know. But the issue is that if I just wrap it around like completely, it's gonna look super weird. Like, hold on. Maybe if I do slabs. No, see, it looks weird. Like, it just, I don't know. It gives it like a weird look. Because thatch is supposed to be rounded. Like, it's not supposed to just, like, be up like that. But, eh. I use a resource pack. I think you should call it's called Overlays Resource Pack. Not sure what that one is. Do hope Minecraft one day give us thatch blocks. Maybe. Maybe. As for cultural representation, I don't really have a strong opinion on it. Obviously, I'm an anthropologist, so the idea of like, is it okay to represent other cultures and how can you do it respectfully and what are the power dynamics and stuff like that? Like, those are things that I do think about on a very regular basis. My only real thing is I would only do like I only really try to represent cultures that I know to some degree. Obviously, like with Medina and stuff, like like I've been to Lebanon. I have Lebanese family members, and it's it's kind of a reflection of like part of my identity. Um, I didn't just randomly wake up and say like, oh, you know who needs more representation? Like it's Arabic people or whatever. Like it was just, oh, there's a town here. I want to make like a desert town, and it just kind of came into it that it was Arabic themed, I guess. But it wasn't like I never set out to represent a culture like that. I did mention wanting to do. I mentioned that I was considering doing a Hawaiian build, and my issue with that really is that it takes a lot of terraforming, and that when I tried to approach people about it, when I was like, "Hey, can I find like resources for Hawaiian culture?" I was very much told like, "Don't," and that put me off of things, to be honest. And it wasn't like in a mean way. It was just like, this is a space for Hawaiian people to talk to other Hawaiian people, and you shouldn't be here. And that made me not super comfortable with the idea, effectively. Someone said, what did it say? Try an overhang, put the stairs out by one, and then put upside down stairs. Okay, let's go back. Let's try it. So we can put the stairs up by one. Then we could do like. Or maybe you just meant like do it like that and then put upside down stairs. You know what? That is kind of good. I don't know. I don't mind that. I don't mind it as much as I thought I would. Whoa, caught a live stream. Yes, hello. It's this is the first one since like September. You know what? I'll do it at least for this roof, and if I like it, I'll do more of it, and if I don't really like it, it'll just be one weird roof in Brewerstown. But yeah, because thatch is supposed to look like have like a big kind of saggy overhang look to it. Like it's not supposed to be kind of this clear cut. That's nice. I like that. I like the way that that looks. Let me try it on this one too. There we go. Just give it a bit of a kind of floppy sag over. Like so, and like so. There we go. That's not bad. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to swear. I have the natural tendency to swear a lot. I don't want to do that, but I do like it, and it is my thing. I think I'll probably come through and do that for most of the roofs, if not all of them. And that's another. Okay, I'm debating just getting rid of this one. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Oh, let's get back into it. Let's get into Axiom. Delete some of this. Oh, there we go. I didn't even have to fill it with air. That's convenient. Just stretch that out. Delete. Okay. So one of the other issues that I've been having is trying to figure out like how much farmland. That's so loud. I've been trying to figure out like how much farmland like you really need to support a population, and like none of my builds have enough, which is kind of frustrating. So I tried to come in and do it with this build and like do enough farmland, and the issue with that is that I still don't have enough. Because farmland needs farmers, so you start putting a bunch of farmhouses, right? You want to like fill out the farming area. And then all of a sudden you have not enough farms again. Okay, then we're gonna come back in here. Take this like so, pull it up, pull it down. Yep, we're good. Gonna select that, cut it, and move it a little bit low for my taste. How about that? Maybe just a little bit lower. No, I like the higher. And there we go. So I only started using Axiom like very late into doing Regensburg, and it's one of those things you kind of just can't go back after. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't think I'm ever not gonna be using Axiom, like if I have the choice. Because it really is just very, very convenient comparatively. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes you just find a tool that I guess is like so good that it just changes the way you do everything. And it is like it does feel a bit cheaty, but I'm also doing this for fun, and also now like with AdSense, I technically get revenue from YouTube, so I have an incentive to not spend like a bajillion hours on each build if I don't have to. Looks like the roof is more secure in a weird way, like it won't fall. Ruined pagan temple would be interesting. That is a good idea. And hello, Moyoi. I appreciate the shallower roof in a temperate area. I like fantasy styles, but I can't get over a high-pitched roof where there's no snow. That is a good point, and I agree that fantasy has this weird. Sorry, okay, like to clarify, there's like people make fantasy build in Minecraft, but people also build in a very fantasy kind of way in Minecraft, like just broadly. And it's a lot of the way that people build like doesn't really make sense IRL. And that's not like a critique, it's just it doesn't mesh with my sensibilities basically. Um, but yeah, things like the super big, like steep pitched roofs where the roof takes up like half of the house is mostly not my style. And I need to extend this out like so. The reason I'm putting candles on all of these is because I really like wicker fences, but Minecraft refuses to give us wicker. So these are all my... This is the way I've been trying to recreate wicker fencing. For me, it looks like the... Okay, I've read all those messages. Good. I find for some roofs like this, though, it doesn't... I don't know. I feel like this one I might just keep like that and not give it the overhang. The overhang works. I don't know. There's something about this one specifically. It's maybe it's because it's a too wide. Whoops. Do I even want a gate here? I don't know. I guess I do. Let me try something. I'm always scared to put dirt in my builds, but I watched a T17N video today, and he was using a lot of like coarse dirt, and I don't know. Like maybe, you know? Maybe. That's not bad. I'll do it. Not on every house, but just for like this one. There we go. Come in here. And we'll go back to doing those floors. Oh, this is a barn, I forgot. Okay. So here's a trick. The floor of a pig pen shouldn't look the same as the floor of like a place where people store things. So I do, apart from the normal like grass path, I have Animal Pen Brewerstown. And that looks like this. Whoops. Whoa. There we go. And we can bring it in like that. We'll come back in here, get a bit more grass. There we go. That works. And let's do a couple windows. Oh. I've been meaning to try out scaffolding windows. You kind of can't make a realistic farm that would sustain a population. Yeah. No, I know. It's like a fool's errand, but I'm a fool, so I don't know. Will I ever learn? Hold on. There we go. And can go like so. That's not bad. I mean, that's a couple of nice windows. I do like the way that that looks. I think that looks kind of nice. And then maybe I'll just do a ladder. Hold on. There we go. Whoa. Hold on. What happened? Okay, there we go. That's nice. I like that. It's pretty bright. Do you want to become a big YouTuber one day? Or are you just here to share your creations? It would be nice. I mean, I wouldn't complain. It was never really my goal. Like, I'm not in it for like the Mr. Beast like level of fame or anything like that. This channel started really was in just a way that I was trying to share. Basically, I just wanted people to see what my builds look like so that they would go over to my planet Minecraft and download them. And now I guess it's a bit more complicated, but I don't really have a direction, I guess. I'm not the most goal-oriented person, I'm afraid. But I don't know. I mean, like if anthropology pans out for me, that would be nice. And I think YouTube would almost definitely be better to do on the side than as a career. I think YouTube as a career is kind of a bit shaky, and like I posted a video today and it's not gonna do super well. And it's like, oh yeah, I can't like you don't want to be trying to feed your kids on YouTube, you know what I mean? It's good for some things, but I'd always like I'll always take a more stable thing given the choice. There we go. And there we go. Here, let me just move that out a little bit. Like so. So I'm trying to basically, this is going to be a wheat field. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. That over there is hops, and little spaces like this are going to be like vegetables. You can see over here, basically, I'm using the glow berries to look like hops. Again, like the whole beer economy thing I was talking about. And I was trying to figure out how I want to do my hedgerows, but I'm still not entirely sure. People talking about historian as a profession in the chat. Honestly, I'd say follow your dreams and, well, I don't know. I think about what you want your life to turn out like and then choose a career path that will offer you that. Like it sounds obvious, but not everyone necessarily chooses a career path that will like strictly lead into the things that they want, and that's how you end up unhappy, I think, broadly. For instance, if you want, if part of your idea of what your life is going to be is like a stable job, don't go YouTube, obviously. But if you want something that's going to be more artistic, then maybe YouTube is for you. If you want something that's more academic, if you like the idea of being in academia forever, or I don't know. Depends what your values are. Go like that, and maybe we'll do another scaffolding bit. Like so. You can do a ladder. It's not bad, but I'm not a huge fan. This might call for a trapdoor, or perhaps a item frame. What? Hold on. Why can't I place that? Really? Not even with force place? Oh man. Okay. Well, that won't work out. Probably trapdoor then. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll put it on the inside. I'll leave that blank for now. And I should get my brown terracotta so I don't have to come back in here and do it. That's not bad. Being a YouTuber may be nice. It's just the job security is meh. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't even know if YouTube's gonna exist in like 20 years. YouTube also will never give you a pension, which I would like a pension. I like the idea of having a job that puts money aside for me. Even if, you know, like most pensions are shit, but again, most people will prefer a bad pension to no pension. And then for some people, it's just not in their like priorities. But you know, like the draw for anthropology for me is like understanding people. I really like the idea of contributing to research and the idea of oh, that's difficult. I like the worldview of anthropology. I think it's a very kind of compassionate, open worldview that tries to understand the world around us in a way that I think most people's like gut reaction is a lot more negative or judgmental, and I like taking the time to like be critical, but at the end of the day, be optimistic. And um, someone says, "Which year are you in anthropology?" I am now 3 years into my bachelor, hoping to graduate next May. My plan after that is to try to find a job in anthropology, and if the job works out, um, basically, if anthropology works out as a thing that like I enjoy as a career, not just studying, I'll go back and do my master's, and I'll probably go to a PhD. But if it doesn't work out like that for me, then I'll probably switch career paths into something that's a little bit more not like HR, but doing something with anthropology, but that isn't anthropology. So something where it would be an asset, but not my day to day. I can't believe I built so many of these houses on evens because I hate evens, especially with this style of building where you have to try and like block things out into spaces. This is, this sucks. That's another even. Oh my god. Okay. I might change this house. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the look. I might need to drop down the roof actually. Are you gonna make more desert cities? They're my favorite. They're so cool. I got asked that question a little bit ago, and not in this chat. I just mean like on my page. I got asked that question a little bit ago, and I think my answer is not in the near future, to be honest. I don't. So I always like building something that makes me feel like I have advanced as a builder in some way. Like I've learned a new technique, I've learned a new approach. Um, so far, like with Brewerstown, like I'm using Axiom way more, and I am um, not just Axiom. Like I'm trying to do a more medieval style, and I'm trying to do a lot of focus on like 3D work and my sightlines and stuff. And I feel like I am gonna learn a lot, but I just don't know what I'm gonna learn if I do another desert build. And my gut feeling is not enough. Because my big like I guess this is my number one tip for burnout is if you're ever in a position where you okay, what's happening here? If you're in a position where you feel like you're in a rut, it's because you're not really learning anything that is meaningfully different or unique, basically. And you can't just make a build that teaches you one thing. You have to try and go for, unfortunately, like a bunch of things. Um, if you want to know what I mean, I'll flip over to a world with a project that I have on hold right now, and I'll just straight up say like the reason it's on hold is because I'm not happy with it. And why? What is happening here? Basically, the reason I'm not happy with it is just because I'm not learning enough with it. Like it feels too by the numbers. Um, ba-ba-bum. Someone's saying, are all your cities built around one or two industries? Or are they more diverse? Definitely more diverse. So, like, none of my cities specifically, like in the way that you look at them, are like necessarily built around. Oh, okay, there we go. Um, None of my cities are like purely built around a specific industry. It's more like a way of looking at things. So you can look at a place like Regensburg, and Regensburg is like technically like it's built around industry as a concept, and it's kind of built around the paper industry, but um it's also built around the university, so it's also a university town, and it has a lot of other crafts and stuff. So there is like a brick mason, like there's a guy who like lays bricks. There is horsey. Uh, there are other jobs like there's a cheese seller and there's a wine cellar and there are people who like make and mend clothes. It's a big textile place. So there's a couple big industries in Regensburg. And this place, obviously, there's like the brewery, but there's also stained glass. That's a big thing that they're exporting to other places. There's a butcher, there is like a grocer and a baker and people who do like day-to-day stuff. And there's also a cooper. So no other place in Tredagor has a guy who makes barrels except for Brewerstown. So every barrel you've ever seen in Tredagor has come out of like this building, basically, which is a bit silly, but it's it's better than just saying they're all imported, basically. Um, Someone's saying, I like anthropology, but I think job opportunities in humanities are mostly drawn around academia. Depends if you prefer fieldwork, though. I I don't know. I'm doing a fieldwork class right now, and it's kind of a lot. I'll be honest. I like academia. I think I'm good at teaching, and I think I'm passionate about teaching and like sharing my knowledge with people. But um, I don't know. I just don't want to brick myself off. Like I don't want to block myself off and say like, oh, and my job plan is just to teach other people anthropology, and that's it. That's all my eggs in one basket. Um, like if it happens, it could be good, but I don't want to go through it thinking that it's gonna happen. Basically. Whoops, that's not right. Bum. Thought I'd doing a Mediterranean style. I have. Hold on. I'll flip over to my test world real quick. Build world 114. I start I started building in 114 on this world. So I was thinking for a while of doing a kind of like Spanish Mediterranean style with a lot of like nice colorful facades, like this one. This is a pretty nice one. This is an art school. So there is a central courtyard here with basically like I still remember all this stuff. Like this is art supplies. If you come back here, this is teacher housing and a couple of like workshops. And there are two classrooms, like one here, one here. This was going to be the Fishers Guild, so that was going to be like a coastal town. And I was working on some more bits for it. So this is a clock tower, and this was a normal tower, a house. This is a big church, which I actually did the inside of. It's like, it's fully done. Oh, you can really hear that echo, eh? Yeah, this is the biggest cathedral I've done, like by far. And it's really nice, honestly, on the inside. It's got this like nice kind of marble pattern flooring. And then you can come up here to the altar, which is just below this big stained glass window. Um, I never went through with it basically because I didn't have any terraforming tools, and if you've ever tried to make a place that really relies on terraforming with no world edit, no Axiom, no anything, like It's such a pain. And that, basically the world edit thing is what killed it. A big inspiration for this place was going to be Beauclair in The Witcher 3, and like Toussaint as a bigger kind of concept. You can see there's a. This is based off of one of the gates in Beauclair. It's like the Cooper's Gate or something. But I'll head over back to what we were doing. Reading the comments. Are there any snowy areas? There aren't here. There aren't in this world, basically. Just because there's no snowy biomes, and I've only gotten into terraforming pretty recently. Like, I was always terraforming a little bit, but I've only gotten into actual terraforming, like, very recently. Um, Actually, here's a fun one. Like, the first actual terraforming I did in this world was Medina. Medina used to be a plains, and I turned it into a desert. And I did this one recently. So this used to be totally open between Regensburg and Stoneheart. Like this was just like nothing. And I didn't like that. I felt like I needed more of a visual barrier. So I came in here and I made this cliff. If you come inside, whoops, you can see it's all like there's a cliff here and there's a cliff over there, but there's just this huge gap. So I came in here and did this, which is really cool. Oh, missed a dirt block. But yeah, that's a little bit of terraforming, and this here is a little bit of terraforming that I started using Axiom for. Does Axiom blueprints save in all worlds? Yes, they do. And so you can do the same though with structure blocks. If you guys get into structure blocks, like you can just go in your world save and find them and then port them over to any world you want. So there's nothing that Axiom does that you can't ever do like in survival. Well, yeah, in like creative. The only real thing is that it just makes everything easier, honestly. And like I said, I've increasingly started to appreciate the ease of Axiom. What was I doing? I don't know. So I've started coming in here. I do need to tear this down though because I'm not at all happy with it. And that's the good part about, I mean, that's something really useful in Axiom is the ability to really easily get rid of stuff. And you can see the blueprint there. Oh, I should have filled that with grass. So that's going to be a blacksmith, basically. There's a cooper and a blacksmith, and they live next to each other. They're pretty, like, buddy-buddy, I think. Okay, I need to bring that back. I don't want to break into the wall. Delete that. Oh, these are trees, by the way. I figured the reason there was a building there to begin with is because I realized with Regensburg that if you walk into a place and you can see the walls on the other side, it really sucks. So there's going to be a big old tree there to block that, and that's why that building was there too. Would you go back to it now you're using Axiom? I would not. Yeah, this world is creative exclusively. I'll show you my survival world. It doesn't look like this at all. Like if you guys want to see what it looks like when I build in survival, feel free. But the thing is, fundamentally, almost no one builds in survival. Like all the, like all the YouTubers you like who do like survival building, just build in creative and then redo it in survival, which is fine. It's not like a crime or anything, but Minecraft survival building, like actual survival building, is a huge pain. And basically no one does it anymore. Like, no one since like 2017 or 2016 or whatever has like consistently built big things using just like survival Minecraft. Okay. So there we go. I do need to change this a bit though, because I don't really like the triple sign thing up here. Or the buttons. I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's fine though. Yeah, I need to do something about this front. Okay, so what I want to do is something like this. So I built this add-on like a couple days ago, and I think it looks really cool. I want to kind of do that again, but over there. So if we can maybe come out here. Whoops, like a so. And I think we can get another block out. I don't think it's that like wobbly. Survival isn't really limited enough to warrant building exclusively in it. Yeah, fair. Dallas Med 65 does survival and makes awesome projects. He has a massive city with lore he's been working on for the past couple years. That's nice. Yeah, I spoke with a generalization and that was wrong of me. The majority of big people, especially people who make YouTube videos like consistently, you know, like once per week or even like once per month, like it's not a bad thing. It's just most people don't really build in survival. Because it's a pain. It is. It's hard to think of the blocks, so you end up building things that are like don't have a lot of texture variation. It's hard to kind of like plan things out. So people tend to do really minimal planning. I know I totally do. Like people means me. Like and it's not really like I don't think it's a thing that Mojang needs to fix necessarily. I think it's just kind of the nature of what survival is. Well, doesn't work because of the signs. There we go. Does that look weird? I don't know. Maybe it does. I feel like it's kind of high. But I'm thinking of making this whole place like a workshop. There we go. I'll just trim that back a little bit. Got a little overzealous. There we go. Probably do a retaining wall. So come back in here. And the reason I'm doing it like this instead of just like building it by hand is basically because I want the texturing to be consistent with the other like retaining walls I've done. So come in here, garden walls. Whoops, what's happening? Magenta wall. Is that purple? Huh. Okay. Purple wool. And like so. Now it's textured. We have a retaining wall. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I think that works better. I kind of like it spindly. Um, whoops. There we go. I agree though. He does a mix of both. Yeah. Actually, hold on. I'll pop over real quick. So you can see how low it is. You can see how really low it is. Oh my God. Here we go. My survival world is called No Expectations because I didn't want to pressure myself to actually finish it. You can see when I left off, I was in the middle of trying to figure out how auto crafters work, and I did not get it. So, okay, so this is the actual building stuff for my survival world. There is a kind of like tiki hut area. So, this is my starter home. Still waiting for that copper to turn green. I have an enchanting table over here. It's kind of part of the tiki hut area. And there is another little bit of a tiki thing over here. I'm saying tiki because it's like, it's not intended to be like Hawaiian or anything. It's just kind of like generic thatch roof kind of vibe. Little archaeology area. And then this is basically just a copy of Tishaka, my Aztec place. This is the actual like big build that I was working on. So it's just a mix of like, it used to be connected glass, like don't hate on me. But it's just a mix of glass and copper that I was waiting to oxidize. And then it's going to be like all glass tunnels basically. But you can see like this is not as good as I build in my creative world. Like this is fine, but this is not, like it's not nice. Streaming for an hour, my back is starting to cramp up. Someone said, "Can I donate to you?" I appreciate that. I don't have any kind of donation thing set up right now, but maybe in the future I will. Taking a sip of water. My bottle is closed this time so it doesn't spill. Someone said I should start like a Patreon or something, and I'm not like against it. It's just I don't know. Like it doesn't. I feel like I'll get to it when I have something that feels more worth like asking people to pay for. Because like I said, like I started this specifically to show people my art. Like there's no world in which I am like doing this and I want people to see my art less, and it's kind of my fear with anything like Patreon related is that I'll kind of just exclude people. Which is like a little bit bound to happen like eventually, but I don't want to like foster that in any way. I don't like the idea of excluding people just because like they don't want to pay or they can't pay, or especially I know some of my audience is like not 18 and doesn't have credit cards, so they'd have to like ask their parents or whatever, and that's kind of just like a I remember doing that, and I remember it's like a weird situation to be in. Is this too close? I feel like it really is. I don't know. I guess it'll just be a connecting thing. It's part of the same industry. The reason that there's a barrel maker in this town is because of like the beer industry. It's not like it's not incidental, basically. It's very much part of the kind of economic structure of things. There we go. Whoops. Fell down. Got back up again. We're all good. And let me come in here like so. Here, let me just go like that. Another nice thing you can do with Axiom is just kind of turn slabs into stairs into full blocks by clicking on them. And I've been using these candles to look like basically like where the thatch sticks up and it's all like kind of bundled together. There we go. I'll probably keep this open. I don't really feel like it needs to be closed. Maybe I'll make this... I don't know. Should this be closed off? Yeah, here, I'll do it like that. And then I'll put a... Here we go. We'll do a small forge. Something like that. That. Oh. Okay. There we go. That's not bad. It's just for a Cooper, so I don't think it needs to be big. They just need to put like, well, I don't know. I'll punch it out and then I'll... Here, we'll go like that. I don't want it to be lit necessarily, so we'll go like a so, and like a so. Get some stairs. That's not bad. I mean, it looks a bit weird, I guess. I don't know. I think it's okay. Well, I need to adjust to my seat. My legs are falling asleep. Here, wait, hold on. It's a thing you put in basically to like close the oven door. It's like a wooden block with a handle on it. Cool Dark in the chat. Good evening. Sick after vaccine shots. Do you plan on making any lore videos? Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I have like a very complicated relationship with like world building. I know a lot of people join this channel because of like the world building of it. And I think I kind of explained this in the Discord a little bit ago, but like my issue is that I have a tendency to get into world building and then after a while it just starts to feel like pointless because you're like not how do I explain this? World building isn't writing, but it feels like writing. So you get like this huge dopamine rush because you feel super productive and it makes you want to keep doing it like more and more because the more that you like do like world building, the more you're like, look, I came up with a character, I came up with like a great house, and I came up with I know what this area produces and I know who runs this place and I know who their heir is and I made a family tree and it's like, oh wow, I'm being so productive. And then you look back and you're like, I haven't written anything. And I kind of spent a little bit too long doing that, and it very much like soured me on the experience of world building. I guess world building isn't the same as lore though. I don't know. I suppose lore implies that there's like some kind of grounding, like there's lore because you built something and you have to explain it. So, like there is lore for Trador, like to be clear, but it's just not like um stuff I've gone super far into, especially not in a while. I posted to the Discord today a map that I made a few years ago in like 2022, like early 2022 probably, and it's a map of like the area around Medina with a bunch of like desert towns, but none of them are like in the game. Like they're not real desert towns. I just came up with the idea that like there would be more towns, but that's kind of the issue is I didn't build anything. Like there's nothing, I don't know. Okay, so how is that? If you come into the town, you can't see the walls, but if you come up here, you can. So we need to shift this tree over by like one. I swear I'm gonna actually like build a tree here. I haven't figured out how I want to do the trees yet. There we go. I think that'll be good. It'll kind of fill this like gap here. Like I said, I don't want to be able to like see the walls when I come into town. That's like my big whoops. That's my big thing. That's what I want to avoid. And I suppose we can stick that door back. It's not an issue. Like a so, and like a so. Maybe just a stair. Uh, Maybe we can come in like this. Kind of build that up a little bit. I think that works. Trying to avoid straight angles. For silly reasons, but just trying to basically see if there's an actual difference if you ignore straight angles. Not ignore, avoid. There we go. Kind of goes down like that. Yeah, that's smoother. Do you have a set order of steps you work in, or is it more disorganized? Uh, Both. Like I always plan a build. I always come through. You can see like I always do my wool. So you can still see like there's wool and there's still glass. The glass here is like pig pens or chicken coops, bird nests, that kind of thing. This is trees, and you can see that like that wool planning is still there. So I do that part like always before I do any building. When it comes to the actual building, though, I do it kind of haphazard. I tend to do exteriors before interiors, and here's my like biggest piece of advice: don't do that. um, I mentioned with the world building thing, like it's really easy to get caught up in the idea that you're making progress, and the reality is that sometimes, like here's the thing, like the reason why everybody always makes Minecraft exteriors and very few people do interiors is because it's like way more work. It's more rewarding, but it's way more work. And my recommendation is like do the work. Don't leave it to the last minute because if you do, you end up with like what happened with Regensburg where you just get burnt out because you were working off of the dopamine of like every day I'm gonna make a new part of town. Every day there's a new part of town coming up. And you're like, great, so Regensburg is almost done, right? And it's like, no. I still had like 6 months on Regensburg after I finished like all the exteriors. Like 6 months. It's crazy. Imagine you finished something for school and then 6 months later you're still working on it. So That's basically my thing with this sucks and I'm gonna change it. Um yeah, I do have a set order. I don't always follow that order to what I should be doing. And I will tell you, like, do as I say, not as I do. Always take the time to do your interiors if you can, and do them well, and don't leave them to the last minute. Because if you do, you'll feel super bummed out, and you'll basically stop working on the project for a while. If you're like me, until you kind of feel like you can come back to it, and then it's just a whole thing. Here, I can do another one like so. Eh, I'll take off the candles until we finish the roof, and then we'll come back in. How long are you live for? Probably for another like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Lower question, what languages are spoken in the world? If you go around the world, you can get like an actual answer, which is English, French, Dutch, and German. Um, Sarneville is a mix of English, French. Regensburg is a mix of all four, and then most places are just English. The reason that Regensburg is a mix of all four is because I was inspired by like France and like I was inspired by like Czechia and the Netherlands and Germany and stuff. But also because Regensburg is like trying to be super cosmopolitan, and I liked the idea that um I like the idea that like if there's something like a warning sign, like fire escape, like the fire escape should be in like a bunch of different languages. Like not every tiny like shop sign is in all four. Like most of them are just in English, but sometimes you get like builds in Regensburg that are like English Dutch. Um, and those are fun. Here, we can go like that, I guess. Da, da, da. I took a break from world building, and that is how I started making stories and lore. Uh, you don't have to write a lot to make lore. It could just be using diagrams like family trees and history line. Oh, buddy, trust okay, if I remember or if you guys remind me, I will post my family trees to the Discord. Um, like I know that it's not just writing, right? Like I'm big into cartography, so I got really big into making maps for my world building. Um, I'm really big into heraldry, so I got super big into making tons of coats of arms. I can show you guys. I have like 300 coats of arms. Like they're all custom made. They're all whatever. Um, like so there's so many parts to it, and there's so many ways that you can kind of postpone doing real creative work. Like I'm sorry, that's dismissive. There are a lot of things that you can do that will feel more productive than they are because they give you a big sense of accomplishment for a low amount of effort. And the more you do those things, the more likely you are to burn out. That's a fact. Like that's really my point. Is just be mindful of the things that you do, and if you feel like every time I make a new part of the family tree, every time I make a new coat of arms or a new map, or every time I write about a new person in my world, like the new lord of a castle, I get a big rush of energy. Like think about what that means and the implications of that for like your day-to-day life. Um, just speaking from experience. Like that is my experience, and my experience has been negative in some important ways. Not every way, of course. I wanted to I mentioned earlier like I kind of skip around. Like I just remembered that I wanted to put a hole in the floor so you could basically like shoot people if they came in. That's it sounds a bit dark, but that's basically it. Like if you guys weren't here at the beginning of the stream, someone's saying good night. Uh, good night, Cold Dark. Basically, you can come into the castle through here, so I wanted to put this. Also, pale hanging moss looks great as cobwebs. Like, if you guys have ever actually put cobwebs anywhere, they're super bright, but this is perfect. Like, this is dusty. This is the same color. It looks great. And I'll probably put a couple of like little arrow slits. That's not super useful, I'll be honest. I don't think that's doing nothing. Okay, here. I'll put these up like so. And now they're just letting a bit of light in. I feel like this room would probably just be used for like whatever. So here we go. We'll put a couple of pieces of pottery in here. I'm trying to make this look like there's like a cover that comes over. A couple pieces of pottery. Gonna do another pale hanging moss. Does Regensburg have a castle? I didn't see one. Where is the power located? That is a good question, and that is something that I have basically messed up with some of my cities, is that I didn't put a specific like powerhouse. I'll fly over and kind of explain on the way, but one of the like one of the big things I tried to do here is talk about the ruling structure. Like there's very clearly a castle, and it almost comes down like a line, like it kind of extends out like an arm, like toward the town. It's very clear that there's a ruling structure. With Regensburg, it's a bit more wishy-washy, and the reason is I just didn't want to build a castle. I wanted to build a city, but I didn't think about it like properly. So if you want like a single seat of power in Regensburg, it is this. This is the Van Graff estate. It's a big Scooby-Doo haunted house, basically. You can only access it by boat. So there's like a boat here, but like physically, there's a couple of boats over here. This is like the seat of the Van Graffs. They're one of the big houses in town, but they're not the only one. So these three houses here, this is the like the Gedhams, this is the um I think this is the Thysons, and this is the Deloriers. So there are a bunch of like rich people, and the idea is that they all kind of pressure the town bailiff into doing whatever benefits them. We have a rat house in Regensburg, which is like a town hall. So there is a bailiff here. Sorry, I was trying to figure out if I wrote that wrong. There's a bailiff here with a big bailiff mace, like in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Whoops. And if you come upstairs, I never showed this off in the Regensburg video. There's a town kind of council area. So the people who make up the town council are basically like mostly representatives of those rich people that live in the old part of town. And this is like the town archive. So that's where they keep the books and stuff. This is a washroom, and down here we have a little jail cell. So that's kind of like the way the ruling structure works in Regensburg. Someone asked, what are you making? Right now I'm mostly working on Brewerstown, and I'm just trying to decorate a small part of the castle. But before that, I was working on a workshop for the cooper, the guy who makes all the barrels in town. Someone said, what language would be spoken in Medina? Would it be Arabic? In theory, yes. In practice, no. And the reason is that Arabic writing on Minecraft signs comes out really tiny. Like, hold on, I'll copy paste something. So this is English text, like, and then I'm gonna copy paste something from the internet. Just give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. That's my issue. This is basically why they don't speak Arabic in Medina, is because it's really small. Um, and it sounds silly, but like that's like I said with like the world building thing. Like I don't want to represent things that aren't really there. So what is really there is English text on the sign. So that's why they speak English in Medina, even though it's like a bit weird. Coming in here, though, what we were doing was trying to decorate this place out a little bit. I think probably... Here we go. I'd like to put a candelabra here. Like so. And... Here, we'll put a chair. Like an old chair that nobody's using. I think that makes sense for a place like this. I'm not super happy with how bright that is, so let me see if I can't replace that with just an oak one, perhaps, or maybe even a white one. I don't know. I guess we'll try out some different stuff. I'm probably gonna go for oak there. I think that works. Okay. This feels like it needs more decoration, so here we go. Wait, that doesn't work. I'm used to building a lot with paintings, but paintings are not really medieval. Medieval is more tapestries, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to represent those yet, but I know that I want this place to feel a lot more medieval than like early modern, which is what I mostly build in. There we go. Okay, so what can we add? Campfire. There we go. Let's hold up. Yeah, that works. I think that works. I'm not sure what else we can put in here. How often do you stream? This is the first one since like September. Not very often. My issue was... Okay, my issue is that you can't really stream without announcing it, but you can't announce a stream without knowing for sure what your day is going to be like. And I never know what my day is going to be like. I'm doing a stream right now because my girlfriend's at work, but unless she's at work, we usually call in the evenings for a couple hours. So I never stream at night, and I'm busy on weeknights, obviously, with like homework. I'm trying to figure out what I can put in here. Like, it doesn't need anything, but I feel like this... I guess it's because... Oh, okay. Whoops. Maybe it should look like that. There we go. That's, like, fine. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I feel like this is like a room that could realistically exist. Here we go. Okay, if you're wondering what these are soot marks. So I wanted to make it look like there's like smoke all over the walls, basically. And that's why I put the banners up here and up on the top level. Actually, I just realized I didn't show you guys like the whole thing. Okay, let's do this properly, right? You come through the whole town. You come through like Castle Stoneheart lands, through the farming area, doopy doopy doo, up to the church. Come in, like so. You climb some stairs. You get to this level. This level is like administrative stuff. This is like all admin work. There is a dumbwaiter, basically. And there is a guy here who's gonna like, this is the guy you're probably gonna meet with if you come to the castle. So you can, basically he has a bunch of scrolls behind him, because we're not really using that much paper here. That's still not done. But that's the idea for this floor. Like it's all like administrative stuff. If we come downstairs really quickly, that's where that dumbwaiter leads. Like I said earlier, we're gonna have a cellar here, a kitchen area kind of connecting through, and then over here that connects to there. We have towers available there and over there for some more storage. Not sure what I'll put in those yet. Maybe some hanging meat. I have to do a bit more Googling, like research on medieval meat storage practices. Coming up here though, this area is separated into 3. There's probably going to be another separation. But basically, this is like a living area. This is the bathrooms. So there is a bathroom system here. And if we pass through here, this is where the like the Lord's bedroom is going to be. I'm basing most of this castle off of the Philip Armstrong illustration of Carrick Fergus. Whoops, okay. And if we come up to the 3rd final level, this is the main hall, basically. So this is, again, like I'm basing this off of the images, but we have a couple of big fireplaces here with some dogs eating a bone. Here we have a fire poker and somebody's pulled up by the fire. We have some little bits of firewood sticking out of barrels. A table here where you can see that they have some coins and some parchments and stuff spread out. This is a little ink pot, so it's full of squid ink. If we come over, we have some empty rooms that I haven't quite filled out yet. And this is the throne. So there are his and hers matching chairs with a big kind of like a woolen drapery thing. If you've seen thrones, they often have almost like a ceiling, like a little roof over them. Good night, Bogufan? And over here you can see that this table is pushed over against the wall. So this is the big kind of final layer of the castle. I think it looks really nice, all this blue sticking through from the roof. Hold on, I'll show you guys with shaders. My favorite right now are the Seuss shaders. I've said it before though, my issue is that they don't have, like the candles don't give off light with these shaders. But I think it looks really nice. Like these are by far my favorite shaders. I think they look, the way that the light kind of stretches across the floor here, I think looks so nice, and the fires look so warm. But yeah, you can see that the candles are like not working properly. I'll show you. If we climb to the top, whoops, it's a little bit dark here. Whoa, there we go. If we climb to the top, we can come in here to the church. And you can see how the stained glass gets reflected in. And I think it looks really nice. Basically, this is like kind of like basic ray tracing. And I love the way that it looks. Like I love the colored lighting and everything and the shadows that it gives. Looking out through basically rose tinted goggles. I think it looks really cool. And you step out and you get that like that nice bright sunlight. But I will take these off before they fry my laptop too much. I said I was probably going to stream for 2 hours, and I am. So around 10 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to quit the stream. So I've been debating. I'm not sure what I should put in this room. It might be storage, but I'm not sure. And this one, I don't know. This might be a bedroom for someone. Um, Hold on. So in this room, here, let me move that up one. And then we can put one like this. I think that's about where they are here. That's 3. And this is also 3. There we go. Coming over here, we can maybe do like so and like so. And I'd like to have window shutters. So whoops. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh, god damn it. Okay, hold. We'll get there. We'll get there. There we go. Okay. That looks like fine, I think. We have a tendency in Minecraft to do window shutters on the outside, but historically they're mostly on the inside, which is, I don't know, kind of a weird difficulty you don't really think about. But let's see, we can probably squeeze in a bed here with something like so. And I think something like this. Let's see if we can't get anything else in here. Might be nice to put a pot in there, some kind of bowl. It looks quite bright in the hall without the shaders. Do the candles give the same light level as torches? No, they don't. It is... Actually, you're right. It is weirdly bright in here. I think it's because we have a lot of sunlight and a lot of candles. It is oddly bright. I don't know. That's weird. I think it's because we have like windows on all the sides. So the way Minecraft calculates light in the base game is that your distance from like a window is like 5 light levels or something. Because yeah, look, like I can turn basically all these off and it still stays the same brightness in here. The wolves barked at me because I turned off their fire. They're upset. Okay, let's get down to that room. I don't think I can fit a chest in there. I hate making spiral staircases in Minecraft, like low-key. They don't make me nauseous, but I don't like them. Oh, I didn't mention it, but this is done with... Oh, that's crooked. Hold on. I didn't even know that was crooked. Okay, let's get into it. That's 88. That should be at 90. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the grindstone doesn't really connect well with the fence, so I put in another kind of fence piece there to look like fence. I'm probably gonna do a chain. So here we go. Let's do chain. We'll turn on our gizmos. Those were the wrong gizmos. We'll turn back on our gizmos. Then if we could just move that over. Look at that. We can place a chain even though there's a block there. Isn't that nice? I mean, the lighting is like a little off, but you wouldn't know. Like, oh, okay, what did I do? Okay. I just put it sideways. You wouldn't really know, like, if nobody told you that that wasn't a real chain. Okay, so back to here. Let's see. What do we want to put? I'm thinking maybe a wooden bowl. Keep it simple. Something like that. And then probably some shoes over here. Like somebody's been kicking off their boots and putting them on the floor. That's okay. Do we want to put a candle? Can I fit a candle anywhere? Eh. Not really. I mean, I could do like one of these, but I think that that's too much. Like, I think this guy might just go to bed when it's dark, and I don't think he's spending a lot of time in here realistically. Let me just do one more pale moss up here for posterity's sake. And I think that that's a fine castle room. I'm not super happy with these though. Hold on. Maybe we can do curtains instead. That's brown. That's red. That looks really cold though at night. This isn't a heated room really, so I don't know. I think I might go for. Let's see. I feel like it's too bright for a medieval build. Do you mean the colors or do you mean like the actual lighting? What does bright mean in this case? Uh, Whoa, hit my mic by accident. You don't want mob spawning? Actually, this is a peaceful world. There aren't any mobs. It's purely just like whatever light level I want. That looks terrible. Hold on. Why do I like low-key hate the shutters? I think they're just too bright for the stone. I think that fits better. I think the pale was too bright. By the way, do you know the command to keep it always day? It's not a command, it's a game rule. Uh, slash game rule. Do daylight cycle. Currently set to false. Yeah, mine works fine. Do you pre-plan block pallets? Oh yeah, I pre-plan it. But you have to go past the plan. There is a pallet. Hold on. So like take a look at this room and like the pallet for it. And you can look at the palette for like this whole place. So if I just swing over as quick as my little legs will take me, we can see eminently. These are all basically tests and copy pasting things that I've been figuring out for Brewerstown. That over here we have the the palette that I was working out. So this is all the blocks that I was thinking of working with. You can see I was trying to go for bamboo for thatch, but I felt that it was too bright. I might change it back, but I even did. So I even did a build palette for my blocks, but like for the planning blocks. That's another thing not everyone tells you. Always need to do a build palette for the planning blocks. Said the actual lighting. Yeah, well, it's also I have my brightness set to 100, partly for YouTube purposes, but yeah, It is bright in there. I want to show you guys, this was, when I was trying to figure out Regensburg, this was the palette that I had going into it. So I think you can look around Regensburg. Some of these make sense. Like, I have a couple things that look like this and some that look like this. Nothing that looks like this. Nothing that looks like this. Like, this was kind of a palette for like townhouses, and honestly, I didn't use the majority of them. So you have to be flexible with your palette as well. And here you can see an older palette for that Mediterranean build I was talking about. This one was trying to figure out like block colors basically. These hold up though. These look nice. Like, this is a nice house. Hold on though. If I turn my, where are we? Brightness bright. If I go to moody, let's see where moody gets us in the castle. This looks the same. I might have too many windows. I can tell you with shaders, it definitely looks darker. And this looks, why is this like full brightness though? I don't get it. There's no windows here. Do I have... That is weird. I don't know why it's full brightness. Hold on. If I do time set day. Do I have night vision on? That's a visual glitch. Okay, guys. We'll figure that one out. I have no night vision on. It's the middle of the night, and it is perfectly bright in here. I don't know what that is. I don't know what is causing that. I can show you like how bright it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be dark as hell. I don't know why it's so bright. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Even during the day, it's not supposed to be quite that bright. Where's the sun? Okay. Here, let's see another shader. Yeah, okay, so it's supposed to be like a little bit brighter than this, but it's not supposed to be as bright as it was. If I turn these off now, will it be... Nope, it's still full brightness. That's so weird. I don't get it. Maybe someone in the chat knows, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm using Axiom. I don't know. It does kind of feel like cheating, but it's also like... I mean, I'm mostly using it for stuff like this, although if for people who haven't seen the whole stream, I am occasionally using it for decorative stuff like this. Basically, stuff you could do with like item frames, but it would suck because they would be like really small. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, there is one thing that's like really cool with Axiom. No, I know it was a joke. I just find it funny. Because it is like a weird thing, like what is and isn't, like what feels like cheating. But yeah, we have a diagonal in Minecraft. Scandalous, I know. But I really like the diagonal well chain. Like, it's so hard to make pulleys in Minecraft without diagonals. What you can do is just cheat. So thank you, Nathan. What you can do is cheat. So this is a cheated diagonal, a cheated pulley. So you can see that this one kind of just goes through blocks and then it randomly snaps over to this and then it comes down. But it doesn't really make sense because I can't do an actual like diagonal. Or I didn't when I built this. This was the first interior I did for the Brewerstown. How did you make that diagonal? Is it a setting? Okay, hold on, I'll show you. So in your Axiom, display entities, block display, chain, voila. Gizmos on, left click, and then you can kind of just go to about 45 degrees. Gizmos off, and that is a diagonal chain. You can do this with summon commands. Don't ask me how. I don't use summon commands. I kind of said in the tutorial today, but like when I do like those tutorials and stuff, I only really how do I explain this? I only really show you guys stuff that like I actually do. Like I'm never gonna show you something and be like, oh, like I would never do this, but in case you wanna, like even like the map making video when I gave the example of like Krita. I use Krita like every day. I love Krita. Krita is a great service. I stand by it and I use it. So that's why I talked about it, but I didn't talk about things like Unmind because I've never used Unmind. I don't really know how it works. Someone said, I like the church. Are you Christian? I was born and raised Maronite Catholic. Am I now is kind of debatable. It depends who you ask, I guess. But I do tend to build churches, and especially for Brewerstown. This is my first church I've built in like the past year because I was avoiding churches for a while because there was too much like, not too much. How do I explain this? Almost every build in Trador has a church or did have a church, so I just felt like it was a bit overdone, essentially. That's all there is to it. There we go. How much what I should do? Oh, hold on. I know what I need to do. I need to finish a roof or possibly just tear down a building. I'm not sure. Here, let me do like this. Like a so, like a so. Why is that another? Oh my God. I cannot believe how many even blocks I put into this, and it's like killing me every time. Especially like with the Waddle and Daub style, like it sucks doing even blocks. Here, I'll just go like that. Like, it's all you're gonna see from that side anyway. So there we go. That's what we call cheating. And that can just be like that. Oh, that kind of messes with the hangover though. Okay, hold on. We'll get it. Is there a specific denomination it's inspired on? Ooh, that's a good question. Catholic, because I was the inspiration for that church is are basically two separate illustrations from Philip Armstrong, like the castle. I'm gonna wear my influences on my sleeve. I've been trying to use a lot of reference images, especially in my goal to be more medieval, basically. So what that means practically is that I'm using a lot of reference images, especially from this artist, Philip Armstrong, who's very good. I highly recommend his stuff. He's like still alive. Like you can commission him if you guys have money. I don't have money for that stuff. So, anyway though, yeah, it's based off of a couple of churches. One is the church, the old church in Carrickfergus, and another one is somewhere else in Ireland, but it's pre-Reformation, like it's pre-Anglican split Ireland, so there's no Protestants. I don't, from my understanding of Irish history. It looks like a Roman church. Yeah, it's probably what you. I would consider it Romanesque. Um, Someone said that's so cool. Which city is your favorite? Um, I'd say Regensburg. Uh, for like forever, it was Newport, but there are issues with Newport that don't exist in Regensburg, and there are issues in Regensburg that aren't in Newport, you know. But um, there we go. That's not bad. That kind of fits. I don't know. Is that good enough? Eh, you can still see the wall pretty easily. I don't know. I'm just gonna go like that so that you can. Well, maybe I should put a small tree there. Here, I'll mark that like so. And it'll kind of cover up a couple blocks. Interesting, interesting. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, my favorite place. Yeah, Regensburg. Regensburg is great. I love it very much. And I spent like 7 months of my human life on this earth building Regensburg. So a little bit of Stockholm syndrome, to be honest. You can't spend that long on a project and not feel like it's like a part of you. Someone said, yeah, Catholic churches have some cool architecture. You should make some more pagan temples. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I just need some place to put it. In Regensburg has a pagan temple anyway. So basically Regensburg has a temple that's based off of the old pre-Catholic like Irish faith. So it's technically like a temple of Ecna. What should I do with this space? I might just. All right, guys. Question for the chat: should this just be a green space, or should I try to actually put something here? I'm not sure. There's a bit of a chat delay, so I'll let you guys mull that over while I come in here. Uh, Hold on. Whoops. Hold on. No, that looks worse. Okay, I think that's gonna be the roof, to be honest. Every building get interiors. Yes, yes they do, even in Regensburg, which is why it took me 7 months. I do recommend doing interiors though, because I think a build without interiors always feels um dead a bit. Someone said you should put something like an old broken carriage. That's not a bad idea. Wait, I might hold on. I might run with that and make it a like a garbage pit. A lot of old towns, not a lot, like every old town had to have, like a place to just like throw trash. So I'm gonna run with the idea of the place for like broken down stuff, and I'm gonna put a bunch of rubbish and rubble. So why don't we do? I know that it's past 10, but like whatever. Here, we'll do like some podzol bits. You're like an old chair. I don't know. Some bits like that. I'm going for like visually messy, busy. Afterward, we can put in some invisible item frames with things like broken potsherds. And then it'll probably end like here-ish, I guess, because like nobody's gonna chuck stuff that far. Um, let's see. Ooh, damaged anvil is a fun idea. It doesn't really make sense though. I don't know. I might not put that. Um, let's see. What else can we put? What would you find in a junk pile? Um, have you built any Protestant churches? I grew up Catholic too, and I like the architecture, but Protestantism has that focus on scripture and stuff. It's a good question. Have I built any Protestant churches? I don't think I have. Fundamentally, I've never built churches to be denominational. I think it's just when I build churches, it's about the churches I've visited, and I'll tell you the places that I've seen churches are uh like mainly like Quebec, which is Catholic, um France, which was Catholic when those churches were built, the ones that I saw. Italy, which is all Catholic, and Lebanon, which is also all Catholic. Well, not like in terms of religious minorities, like there are Greek Orthodox and stuff, but I just haven't really seen, I don't know that I've been in a Protestant church. That's a, I have to actually think about that. I don't know if I've ever been in a Protestant church. I guess at some point, like statistically, but is everything a kingdom? No, it's not like Trador is like a I don't know, it's like a bag of marbles. Like there's no like set structure. It's just people uh mostly do whatever they want, and it is occasionally what they want is to do like war, but mostly like people just want to build and like expand and thrive. Um so yeah, it's I feel like I need more stuff in the rubbish pile, but I don't know what to put. Here, you can put some grass and stuff, but that's not like what I meant. Uh, probably some vegetation. Maybe some moss. Oh, mossy cobble would be good. Yeah, hold on. See if we can't get a little bit of this in. Da da dum. Another slab. Let's go for dark. Maybe put a red one too. Just for funsies. Um, do, do, do. Some more stuff. More grass maybe. Probably a leaf block. I've never built a rubbish pile in Minecraft before. This is really fun, actually. Um, add some ashes. Ooh, good idea. I will do that. Definitely do that. Here we go. So maybe all like together here at the back. Like somebody dumped a bunch of uh No, I'm not gonna put a skull. That would be dark. I had that like intrusive thought. I was like, oh, maybe. Um, Are you playing Roblox? I have never played Roblox, I'm sorry. Uh, just no real interest in it for me. I grew up playing Minecraft, so like it just never came up because I was like already doing something, I guess. Ba-ba-bum. Ooh, like an open barrel on its side. Could be cool. Could be cool. Let's go like that. Another thing of grass here. Maybe like so. Sure, let's do a couple pots. More buttons. This shouldn't be dirt. This should be like gross. Uh, hmm. Okay, I'm gonna make it like that just so it doesn't bother me. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay, so let's actually come in here and we'll do some sherds because sherds look great as broken stuff. What is this? Brewery? That makes sense. We're behind a brewery. There we go. And maybe a little bit more coarse dirt here. This is looking cool already. Da-da-dum. Okay, how big is Trador gonna be? I have no idea. It's never like incomplete. It's just unfinished, I guess. Like there's no goal for Trador. It's just when I feel inspired, I come in and tend to work on it. And that's kind of the thing is there's no like how do I phrase this? In a way that makes sense. You know what? I lost my train of thought. So we're never gonna find out what that was. Um, Someone said, in my opinion, I don't think denomination matters all that much. It's more a relationship or religion. Either way, both architecture is cool. I agree. I think any kind of like worship is a really cool like part of society and like part of the things that we do, I think. Oh, maybe some rotten flesh would be cool here. Maybe just like one rotten flesh. There we go. That looks nice. Uh, let's- I like our rubbish pile. I think that looks lovely. Let me see if I can't put a candle on this. I don't know. Yeah, that kind of works. Kind of works for me. Um, Hold on. Now that that's a full block, yeah. Hold on. Let's see what we can do here. Um, Moss blocks, carpet. Ooh, carpets. I forgot about carpets. We'll do a carpet. We'll do a carpet. Uh, how's that look? No, I preferred the birch. The birch looked more visually busy. And I can appreciate that. Um, no, no. Okay, it doesn't work for there. Maybe somewhere else. There we go. Bro, I just tried the method, what you did with the pulling the irons there. This is insane. Definitely using this. Hey, congratulations. Uh, I don't know. I just thought of it the other day. I was like, damn, I really wish I could make a diagonal. And then I tried it because it's the first time I messed with entity displays at all. Saw the convo, I had to go back a bit. Maronite Catholic? It's always interesting that many don't understand there's dozens of Catholic churches. Yeah, I don't. Well, I'm not even Roman Catholic. So, mm, Roman is one of the Western Catholic umbrellas. Like Roman broadly means like Western Catholic, but I'm Eastern Catholic, which is I don't know. It's like I'm not a theology major. It's I guess it's just like if Catholicism like randomly got a little bit into Orthodoxy. It's like the best way I could describe it, which is a terrible way to describe it. So, like, don't take my word for it at all. Um, yeah, it's Maronite Catholic is the like the what most Lebanese Christians are. The architecture of churches mostly changes across periods and regions, less about denominations. That's fair, but also with like iconoclastism, you see like having all those stained glass windows probably wouldn't be a thing. Maybe I'll try to do a display entity statue because I love making like I love the idea of statues in Minecraft. Excuse me, sorry. I love the idea of statues in Minecraft, but you have to make them really big scale or else they like suck. So maybe display entity statue could be cool. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, let's do a here, wait. Let's do something a bit more open here. Let's go for an open concept, you know? Because it's a smithy and I feel like it would get like mega hot and you would just kind of die like of like heat exposure. Um, Here we go. Like so, like so. Is there a wall here? Yeah, kind of like Loki, yeah. Okay. That's fine though. That's fine. Let me see. Okay, stop that. I put a tree here. It's probably going to be a small tree, so I can't really do stuff with this wall too much. Have you ever thought about turning Trador into an adventure map? I have not, I guess. I used to do adventure maps in Minecraft. I got into it. Hold on. I like tangents because I don't think the stuff I'm building is like super engaging anyway. It's just like stream building. There she blows. Okay, this world is called Adventure because of it was gonna be an adventure map, and I never finished it because it was tiring and not super rewarding. But somebody asked if I had a snowy area earlier. This is the most I've done with like snow in the past few years. So this was like the starting area. Uh, Whoops. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty basic. Uh, I'm not a huge redstoner. I was never good at redstone. I've been playing since 2012, 2011, and I still haven't really figured it out. But this was my little adventure area. Are you Lebanese? Interesting question. Yes and no. I don't know. Not really. Like I was born in Canada. It's Arabic is my first language, but I don't speak it anymore. Like I don't know Arabic anymore. So it's I don't know. I guess that's the thing with any kind of like immigration, even like second degree immigration or second generation, I mean, is you're always just kind of stuck between various identities. Roman Catholicism was coined by Protestants as a derogatory term. There are more than 20 Catholic rites. Yeah, you're right. Vester Rex or Wester Rex, I guess, talking about Catholicism. Oh, yeah, I even did. So here you go, custom trades. See, I was doing stuff. I have like I have 2 stacks of command blocks for some reason. Would have been cool to be able to speak Arabic. Yes, and it's not like it'll never happen. It's just it's really it's I don't know. It's like a super time-consuming thing, and I feel like I never like I know that if I actually just like 100% like sat down and tried, I could get somewhere, but it's such a frustrating thing, and I feel like I just I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of resigned about it. Like I don't feel capable. I'm taking a linguistics class right now, and anyone else is taking linguistics, you know what the term language anxiety means? And that's me. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I'm not good enough with my Arabic, like at all. Like I avoid speaking it even if I get the chance, basically. Um, I never go to like I live in a place with other Arabic peoples. Like I can go get a shawarma sandwich like whenever I want, right? But when I do, I never speak Arabic to like the shawarma guys because I'm like, what if they ask me a question? Like, what if they ask me a follow-up question and I don't know the specific word, and then they're just gonna know that I'm like bad. So I avoid it, and it kind of makes me worse at Arabic. And you know, I'm not unique in that situation, but it isn't. Anybody else who's been in that situation knows that it's just a very difficult kind of place to be stuck in, basically. Especially when you have family members who do speak it and who only speak it. Um, like they're not learning English anytime soon, but you're also not learning anything anytime soon. So it's like kind of a uh, I don't know. Like I think Cold War even is like too glamorous of a term for it. It's just upsetting, I guess. Um, People talking about Catholicism in the chat. Arabic is a really cool language. It's so hard to like even call Arabic a language because of what it is. Like, um, I mean, it's like saying sign language is a language. Like, kind of, but like, two people who speak sign language will never understand each other. Like, I don't know. That's not like the best example, I guess, but that's uh, Arabic is a really wonderful, unique language, and I do wish I could speak it. I just I lost it because I wasn't using it, and now I don't have it, basically. And it is a shame. Pepe Okatse saying, "Man, I feel ya. I'm Asian, and people expect me to be able to speak Chinese, and and when I told them I can't, they look at me like I'm some sort of shameful display to my family." Yeah, there's a lot of shame in it. Like, it's because you want to. Like, doesn't there are very few people who wake up and say like, "I don't wish I knew how to speak a language," and especially like I'm glad I can't speak the language of my ancestors. Like, nobody feels that way. There's a lot of pride in language, but there's also a lot of um, sadness and anxiety and thinking not just about like individual loss of language, but like group loss of language, of course. Like indigenous people and the wiping out of indigenous languages is like one of the biggest tragedies of Canadian history, and it's I don't know. I mean, like it's the one you all well today, like it's the one that we learn in Canada, but you can see that replicated everywhere. Like in China, the loss of regional languages. In France, the loss of regional languages. Even like Greece, which I'm not a huge Greek history guy. Like I know the normal amount, I guess, but uh, Greece used to have like really different languages, and now it broadly doesn't really anymore. I mean, people still speak regional languages, but that's nobody gets educated in regional languages anymore in basically any country that I'm aware of. These builds are so cool. I like Regensburg. Feel free to steal whatever. I mean, I wouldn't spend my time making all these like tutorial how-to videos if I didn't want people to learn how to do what I do, basically. I love the idea that somebody can look at my channel and through the course of um watching my videos like learn how to do what I do and then just do it. Like it's a really fun idea, honestly. Also, a bit selfishly, like I like to see other good Minecraft builds. I want, you know, I like going on Planet Minecraft and seeing what people are up to, and if people are up to making cool builds, like that's really a cool thing. You know what I mean? Everyone benefits when good art is being put into the world. That's kind of cool. Although it kind of bugs me that it's not symmetrical, so I might do something like that. Okay, that's silly. Uh, yeah, that's like fine. There we go. Maybe something like that. Hold on, I'll tuck this back like that. And then, yeah, this way it's a bit more structured. You should build a Lebanese-inspired city. That's an interesting idea. I obviously like I've put little bits of my experience with Lebanon in Bexel and Medina to some degrees, but those are places that are based more off of other things, and I've never really done. That is an interesting idea. I'll have to think about that because I know I talked about the fact that I'd only do a desert city if I was going to learn something. If I was going to actually seriously, legitimately improve a skill that I want or that I have or whatever. And I think reconnecting a little bit with that part of my identity could be an interesting exercise. I'll definitely keep that in mind. There we go. Planning on making like a big balcony, basically. Yeah, that's like street level, so it's fine. Oh, this is gonna connect to okay, hold on. There we go. That looks cool. I like that. Okay. I don't know what Lebanese architecture looked like. Kind of curious now. Lebanese architecture included building and roads. Sure did. Um, yeah, Lebanese architecture has been influenced by a lot of other okay, like I guess we have to do like a very brief crash course on the history of Lebanon. So Lebanon starts off as an idea as Canaan, and Lebanese people, like Christian Maronite Lebanese people, still often refer to themselves as Canaanites or Phoenicians, which is just the Greek word for Canaanite, basically. Um, there's there's no quantifiable difference, uh, but so you start to get like that early Middle East kind of architecture. You can think like whatever, like ancient Israel or Sumer or Akkad or whatever. Uh, then you have periods where they're interacting more with ancient Greece and the rise of like Persia, and then we get into Egypt and Assyria and Rome, and then it's kind of think about the Middle East is it just kind of keeps going and then because the history is so like there, like it's just uh, but yeah, basically there are influences like there's still Roman stuff in Lebanon, and then um essentially after Rome for a while it just becomes the Ottoman Empire until it becomes a French colony effectively for a couple years before getting its freedom. Um, Now most buildings in modern day Lebanon are like concrete because it's not like a very wealthy country, which isn't to say that like it's all concrete or whatever. It's just that is a lot of what you'll see. Like most people's houses are not, whoops, most people's houses are not like super glamorous and they're not going to show you like it's like you can go to any country. Like you can go to Canada right now. Like Canada has historical architecture, but most people don't live in historical architecture. They live in the suburbs. Uh, so there is like colonial Canadian architecture, but like it's very rare. It's not something you'll really actually like see most of the time in most places. Let's see. Hold on. I have to figure out, you have to figure out the layout of a house before you can do what level is this on? Okay, I'll do it here. We'll do it on this level. You have to figure out the layout of a house before you can really do windows because you need someplace to put the chimney, and that's like it's just gonna be like a big thing. Also, I'm glad I kept the sign because I low-key forgot what this house was. Okay, there we go. And that's that looks weird. Looks weird as hell. Hold on. Let's do like that, that. Something like that. Come in here. Bop bop. Maybe like a nice glass window. Thinking green. This isn't meant to be stained glass. It's when glass oxidizes like for a while, it usually ends up being green. for reasons that I cannot fully articulate. But if anyone here knows the channel Archeo Plays, she has a explanation of it. And basically, most old glass looks green or brown if you really look at it, like in a modern lens. So that's basically why all the glass in this place is green or brown, except for two buildings, the church and the guy who makes stained glass. That guy has red windows. I kind of get why most of us are stuck living in concrete buildings, but I wish traditional architecture would make a comeback. I agree. I obviously, like, from an anthropological perspective, it's there's so much of a culture that is carried in their architecture. Um, for instance, I'm reading a book right now by Don Kulik. It's called The Death in the Rainforest for my linguistics class. And the I hold on, this sucks. The big thing about it that he talks about, like, architecturally, is basically it's this little village in Papua New Guinea, and all the houses are on stilts, right? Except for the church, because the church has to be big enough to accommodate like 200 people. So the church is just how do I say this? The church is just like on ground level, but because it's a rainforest, it floods constantly. So people end up just standing in like puddles of water, like during mass. Uh, and like most of their houses are like on stilts. The way that they build the floors, they're made of these big like pieces of bark that are all kind of together, but you can't really get the bark that close, so there are cracks in between the floorboards, like big cracks, like the size of your fist almost. So there's a culture of like just sweeping stuff into the cracks, and like if you have a kid and the kid's running around and the kid is like I don't want to like swear, but the kid is leaving excrement on the floor basically. You sweep it into the crack, and if you're cooking and you have food scraps, you sweep it into the crack, and it's just you can imagine like all of these houses with uh like it's funny to imagine like all these houses with like just a little pile under them of like random rubbish and debris from just putting stuff in the cracks. It's it's a funny thing, but it's like it wasn't even always there. The village only moved there in like 1945. They used to live on a mountain until the mountain got blown up, basically. Um, which is sad, but also like somewhat humorous to think about. Like the idea that everyone used to just live on a mountain and one day the mountain just blew up uh, for like war reasons. Whoops, 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 whoops. Yeah, there's so much of a culture that lives through their architecture. It's incredible. Um, One of my favorite things about being stationed in Germany was seeing truly old architecture. Yeah, it's. I do not think Regensburg is capable of making M1 Abrams tanks, unfortunately. Um, yeah, seeing old architecture is really insane. Like, there is old architecture in Canada, but you won't really see it for the simple reason that it's like there were no great like stone building civilizations in Canada. Uh you can find that stuff like Cahokia is like around like Mississippi. Or we can talk about like Tenochtitlan, and most of it was happening in Mexico, and that stuff is uh like that stuff is like way far south. Most of that stuff wasn't in Canada, so it is genuinely difficult to find old architecture in Canada Like the oldest stuff that most people can really see on a day-to-day basis is from like 1860. And that's like about it. Like that's the oldest stuff most Canadians will see on their way to work. Versus again, like if you go to Lebanon, like the oldest thing you'll see on your way to work might be uh like 1,000 years old, 2,000 years old. The oldest inhabitations in Lebanon are from like 6, 7,000 years ago, something like that, which is crazy. Like, there's nothing in all of Canada that is as old as like what you'll see just like walking to work in Lebanon. Um, which really, I mean, gives you perspective on things, I think. I might make this brown. I'm not sure. Yeah, the brown goes better because we're going for red roof and kind of like brown tones inside. Um, so I'm probably gonna put a couple beds up there, and then this feels like a good space for like an eating area and a chimney. This is the huntsman, so he needs to have like some kind of small work area, probably here, like close to the door. So this is probably like a working area. Hold on, I don't know how far I'm gonna get into this tonight, so this is like a working place. Over here, I think I'd like to have an oven. And then this is probably like a living room. And this will be sleeping. Out here, I'm not sure what a huntsman should really have. I know I want to have bird nests. But other than that, I'm not sure. Uh, Speaking of culture, I read about Javanese houses, and due to them being hierarchic society, the roofs match that. That's really interesting. I don't know much about Java except for like old stuff that is outdated, basically. Quebec City is older, yes. That's a good point. Um, if you're Quebec though, is not most people do not live in Vieux Quebec. Like, and I guess you can say that of any like historical place. Like, there's a small minority of people in Germany who will actually live next to really old stuff, and most people will live more in like post World War II reconstruction buildings. Um, so yeah, that's a good point, honestly. Someone asked what mod I was using for the like this. That's a feature of Axiom. So there's a bunch of features you can do, like no clip lets you fly through stuff. Angel blocks you can like place midair. That's like an old mod. Fast place is like for speed bridging. Like I don't know. I haven't used it at all, as you can see. Infinity reach means like you can just break stuff. Like I can, you can see I just broke that from like way far away. Um, this is not an ad for Axiom, I swear. So Tinker. Tinker is like using the debug stick in Minecraft, like this, but it also lets you do stuff like this, which can be kind of annoying when you do it by accident. No update means you can make stuff that like doesn't really hold on. Like that's the point of no update. Then you have force place. So force place will let you do stuff like this. These have gravity, but like you get the idea. You can still like place them where you normally wouldn't be able to. Then you have replace mode. This one's really useful for texturing if like on a big scale. So you can come into a place like this and just go like that really easily. And then this one is bulldozer, and you can just break stuff real quick. Replace, force place, no updates, and tinker are the ones I like properly use. I feel like this window is like way too open for privacy's sake. So, whoops. What? Okay, see, I was using replace mode by accident. So we're probably gonna cover those up a little bit. Ba-bum. There's so many old buildings, we'll never be able to see them. Yeah. Like most of human habitation on Earth has been like wood and thatch and mud and stuff you can't find easily at all. It still like is there. If you look at soil samples, like you can find like where wood was, but you have to know that you're looking. The issue with a soil sample is you have to sample the soil, and there's a lot of soil. What's your favorite Arabic word? Uh, you know, it's funny because I only speak Arabic in like a very specific contexts. I mostly have like weird ones that most people wouldn't like think of. Like the Arabic word I use the most is probably smalla. Smalla means good for you, but it can be used sarcastically, and it often is. Um, Other ones like mabruk, I use sarcastically a lot. Shushatir. Words I use like actually, like words that you couldn't really translate. Naiman. Naiman, for people who don't speak Arabic, is what you tell people. Um, there are two contexts for a Naiman. I'll put it in chat. I don't know if you guys can even see the chat. But it would be like it would be kind of like that. Which is I don't know, but that's Adabizi spelling. Uh, the thing is, okay, so sorry, I'm just, like losing my mind. Naiman is what you tell people after they've had a shower or when they wash, when they cut their hair, basically. Those are the two times that you tell people Naiman. What is your favorite church you've been to? Um, Mont Saint Michel. Mont Saint Michel is like it's kind of it's a cheap answer because the whole island is a church. Uh, like the actual church in Mont Saint Michel isn't that impressive, but if you ask me like for an answer, like that is it basically. Um, I love Mont Saint Michel. I think it's like one of people get weird about it, but like it is genuinely like I think one of the prettiest places that like most people can access. Like it is decently accessible. I've been to the Vatican, which was very pretty, of course. Um, what's the one in Montreal? St. Joseph's Oratory. I've been to Trinity Church in Boston. Uh, Trinity Church is pretty, of course. A lot of nice churches in Boston, of course. That's again, I've been to mostly Catholic churches. Um, I couldn't go into Notre Dame because Notre Dame was still under construction when I was in Paris. Let me make a here. Let's make a cooking chimney. Oh, I said it was gonna be an oven. Ah, whatever. Well, here, let's do brick. I don't know. Here, let's do this bit out of granite, and then we'll see. And I guess this wall is just gonna be granite for this guy too. There we go. Looks terrible. Okay, hold on. Yeah, favorite church though, Mont Saint Michel. St. Joseph's Oratory is incredible. It is very nice. I haven't been in a while. Uh, I haven't been. I keep trying to take my girlfriend, and it's hard because it's in the middle of Montreal, and it's like I'm never there. Uh, you know how it is. Huh? When did I put on boots? That's funny. Da, da, da. Wise choice. Protestant churches aren't exactly well known to be good looking, just simple and functional. It depends. I mean, it's very like yes, there are American churches that are like strip mall churches. You know what I mean? Like it's a strip mall and there's like a small building, like like vinyl floor, like kind of asbestos panel ceilings. Like yeah, those do exist, but there are also some really nice Protestant churches. Um, some because they used to be Catholic churches, and some just because they're nice churches. And it's there are also so many like sects of Protestantism. Like it's I would never say that like they're not nice because A, I don't have enough experience, and B, I feel like even if I went to like every Episcopalian church, somebody would be like, "But I'm not Episcopalian. I'm from whatever other sect. I'm whatever Baptist." And then I'd be like, "Ah, you're right. I haven't been to a Baptist church." You know? What do I think about Trump wanting to take Canada? I don't think he does remotely. I think it's purely a issue of trying to distract people with like meaningless bullshit. Because Trump's policies are mostly like, okay, I'm not a conservative. I'm an anthropologist. I'm not gonna be a conservative. Like even if I was, I wouldn't vote Republican. Um, because that would be stupid. But Trump's policies are mostly not very good for most people, and most people who know and have read his policies are not a huge fan, which is why he benefits from PR stuff, like PR stunts by saying shit like we're gonna annex Canada, because when you say we're gonna annex Canada, people say like, "Oh, not the Canadians. Oh, there's so much beef." I don't know, whatever. And most people don't really think about the fact that like Trump has just terrible cabinet picks. Like Trump has one of the worst cabinets that like any like living president has had. Um, I'm not an expert on U.S. politics, but that is my understanding. Um, so yeah, like it matters, but not for the reason that is stated. It matters for the subtext. Um, Trump benefits the rich. Yeah, like not even like some, and it's populism doesn't work on the idea that you're ever going to benefit the rich. It's the idea that anybody can become rich, and then you benefit the rich and everyone goes, "Oh, but it'll be my turn soon," which is obviously like very silly, but you know, populism basically works by um trying to exclude the old aristocracy and building a new aristocracy that is specifically loyal to you. And like the way that Trump has like very few career politicians who like him, but all the tech bros were like at the Trump rally or the Trump inauguration. Like it's the creation of a new aristocracy, and that is the way that populism necessarily functions because you have to screw over all the people who were there before in order to really do populism. Not happy with those. I'll figure it out after. Candle is pretty clever. Someone said stop baiting him into political discourse. Uh, some churches are visually beautiful and some are not so much, but the real church are the people. I agree. I mean, people get upset about churches being turned into like whatever apartments or hospitals or shops or whatever, but like just go. Like if you went, they wouldn't do that. No church that is busy gets turned into something else. I'd say I'm pretty good with politics. Pool's closed. You're acting like we kill each other with politics. Oh, cool spool. Um, eh. There are limits to debate, and there are especially limits to the usefulness of debate. Um, most debate is not specifically useful because it tries to most debate is not very useful because it's two people who are just kind of like trying to change each other's minds like very poorly, which is a very pointless exercise. I know one thing that I want this guy to be doing is making arrows because he's the huntsman. So we're gonna put a fletching table, I think, up by the window. I think that'd be a lovely place for it. I hate I hate the side texture. Okay, what can we replace that with though? Um, let's see if I just do signs, what's gonna happen? That sucks. Fletching table. We're not gonna do a fletching table. I'm just gonna do a normal table and put fletching stuff on it. Okay, I think that'll be like infinitely easier. Okay, let's do barrel. This is how I tend to represent like barrels full of arrows in my world is just like an open barrel full of candles sticking out. Um, debates are simply more elegant rap battle. Yeah, broadly. There's a lot of overlap, especially historically. Bobert had the courage to build a cathedral. That is very nice to hear. If you're in the Discord, post it. I'd love to see it. I always like to see what you guys are getting up to. Here's another burnout tip. The more art you see, the less burnt out you will be. The more you burnout often happens when you like very specifically give and give and give all your like artistic fuel, but you don't take enough in. Um, I believe open discussions are what people think a good debate is supposed to be like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, debate is such a debate is a debated word. Isn't that fun? Everyone has their own ideas of what a good debate is, I guess. But so it goes. So it goes. There we go. Just a bit of flint. I don't know. I think that makes sense. I think that works as like a little workshop area. I'd like to put a chest over here as well. By the door would be good. Some important storage stuff. And maybe a little candle thing here. I don't know. Here's just a difficult one for medieval builds. Candles weren't common in the Middle Ages. Most people didn't have that many candles. They would have like one, maybe, which like most people use lamps, which is Minecraft doesn't have any good way to show like an oil lamp. which sucks. When I mean an oil lamp, like think of the lamp from Aladdin. Like that's what most people use day to day. You just put a little wick in there and like a like oil or whatever the fuck. Sorry, I said I wasn't gonna swear. That's my bad. Bad habit. A very bad habit. How can we segregate this space a little bit? Here, maybe like this. There we go. I think that's good. I think that makes the space feel more... a little bit more closed off. I'm gonna open... no, I'm gonna keep these closed. I think debates are important in the sense that it exposes you to the views of different people. Yes, I agree. For that sense, yes, but the idea of the political debate is a very flawed like the premise of the debate, the idea that you can express your views in a way that is healthy and constructive but not emotional in any way is silly. And like every part of your human existence is emotional. Fundamentally, like you wake up, you have emotions, we were talking about this the other day in class. Like if you kill the part of someone's brain that deals with emotion, they can't choose a chocolate bar. Like obviously there are logical criteria for a chocolate bar. You guys know this. Like, okay, does it taste good? What's the texture? Is there caramel inside? But most like people cannot fundamentally choose a chocolate bar without like an emotional response. And the same way, you can't debate without an emotional response. The people who try to shut down other people's emotions during debates are like, it's just really an impossible thing to do. Like it's an impossible thing to actually debate someone without getting emotional. It's just not how humans function. Like it's not a bad thing. It's not a flaw. It's just day-to-day stuff, you know. If you go to like 16, 1700s houses, you'll find stuff like this. It'll be like a stone sink, which is weird, but yeah, stone sinks existed for a while before people. I mean, you can still get like marble, I guess, but what's your favorite restaurant? Good question. I don't know, man. I could talk about foods I like, but I'm not that attached to like individual restaurants. Like there's a place near me that does like Indian food, and those guys are great. But if they shut down and like an identical restaurant serving the same food took their place, like I wouldn't care. I'm just not that attached to that place like specifically. Um, I like hot dogs. I like sushi. Like most of the foods that people like, I like. The one big exception is I don't do cheese. I don't like cheese at all, which people are always like scandalized by. I do eat pizza. To be clear, like I eat pizza, but I just don't like cheese in any other context. Um, this is a huntsman, so I feel like he might have something that he hunted. So I'm gonna put a like a rabbit. I'm gonna put a rabbit on the counter here. Sorry, if you're wondering what this is a table that's been pushed against the wall. And I feel like it would be nice to have some kind of like tapestry up here. I don't know, let me know in the chat. Oh god, I'm behind on the chat. Hold on. Okay, so what have we... Okay, what mods data packs do you use for invisible? arrows and altering the texture for certain blocks to be different fashion, like open barrels. That is with Axiom, but you can do it with a debug stick. So if you do slash give pools close debug stick, you get one just like this. Walk up to it. If you do left click, you'll get different options. This is open, true, sorry, shift, true, false, true, false, true, false. And that's the debug stick thing. But you can do it with Axiom, and that's what this signifies. Invisible arrows. I don't know what that refers to. What are some of your favorite topics in anthropology? Geez, I'd love to take a food anthropology class, but my university only teaches it from like 5:30 to 8 p.m. and I refuse to be like in class at 8 p.m. Like there's no way. I have an hour commute. I'm not gonna come home at like 9 p.m. That's crazy. Uh, Topics I like that I've studied. I really like learning about specific cultures and just learning like a bunch about what they're getting up to. So I had a class on like African cultures that was super cool. Aging is a topic I'm studying right now. I'm running field research on aging currently for a class called field research. Um, Food. I said food. Sorry. What's another one? Language can be interesting. I find visual arts can be interesting. Social dynamics. Canadian universities very much focus on colonialism. So you'll find a ton of classes about coloniality, post-colonialism, neo-colonialism, decolonialization, the governance of nature, the governance of indigenous peoples. Like all that stuff is like very popular in Canadian universities. So I've taken classes on that. I find race and ethnicity is interesting. I took a sociology class on selfhood, which was really fascinating, and I took one about the construction of sexuality, which was also a really interesting one. I didn't really like that class because the teacher was kind of like not super organized and stuff, but like I didn't really click with the teaching style, but the content was really great, and I liked it a lot. Okay, let me put a shelf in here. I think that'll be useful. And a couple of barrels. I'd like to put a hunting horn in here. Keeping up with the chat. Okay, you're getting canceled. Okay. Da da da. Political debates are mostly used just for people who haven't taken a position yet. I think everyone's taken a position. I'll be honest. I think kids have positions. I know kids have positions. You can talk to kids about politics. You'll have positions. Mostly their parents' positions, but da, da, da. Why is the sink by the fireplace? Because it's in the kitchen. Why you hate cheese? I don't really like cheese. Okay, so I'll explain. I don't. You have five senses, right? Taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing. Hearing doesn't bother me. Sight doesn't really bother me, but I don't really like the taste of most cheese. I don't like the texture of most cheese, and I don't like the smell of most cheese. That's my big thing. Pizza is better because pizza you mostly get the flavor of like marinara sauce or whatever they put on. Did I even put the horn here? What am I doing? It's so hard to talk and like do stuff. The horns are cool. I'm glad that they added those. Where can I put a horn? Interesting. Whoops. Interesting quandary. Why are people saying you're getting canceled? I don't know. I haven't been keeping track. Oh, Wizzy is getting canceled. Okay. Da, da, da. Food in relation to culture, very interesting. Rice is very labor intensive, which requires massive coordination. Yes, I've heard that. I don't know. It looks like I got shooters in the chat, uh, defending my honor. Um, I don't know about the rice collectivism thing because, like, have you ever tried to harvest a wheat field by yourself? Like, I don't think you can. And especially like to then go process it, like to do wheat, you have to have like a bunch of people in the field. You need oxen, like you need farm animals. You need people milling it. Um, you can make bread by yourself, but if you want good bread, you need a baker. So I don't know. I've heard that before, but I don't really know who came up with it. Um, I remember watching him at two people on live. Yeah, back in the day. Uh, I've not seen the Discord link anymore. It's under most of the YouTube videos. I don't know if other people can share the Discord. Uh, oh God. Okay, I was gonna ask. I got like way sidetracked. Guys, what do you put in the backyard of a huntsman? I'm gonna put a birdhouse. So here's another feature. Clipboard can go to here. I've made these structures. Birdhouse. And I can go Control V. And now I have a medieval birdhouse, which is cool. The question still stands though, which is, well, A, I'm not going to put it there because I think that looks terrible. But B, where, that's kind of cool. I could like kind of like it at that height. Maybe there. Okay. Which is B, and I forgot what A was. What am I putting in here? I don't know. What should a huntsman have? I guess dogs. I think you need dogs, right? For a hunt. Although they might attack the birds, so I don't know if you'd want dogs even. There we go. Here, we're gonna do a dog kennel. Yeah, that looks like fine, I think. I think it's a fine area for dogs. We can come in like so. What is occurring? Gang, no fighting in the chat. This was a great stream. Love your videos. Keep going. God bless you. Thank you very much. Maybe put target blocks. Oh, that's an idea. That's definitely an idea. Hold on. Do I have enough space? Ooh, it's hard on the slope though. I think that is a good idea, but I don't think it's no. It's okay, so one of the things wait, does this my mind is going too fast right now. So I built a couple of these things, but I didn't do the arrow thing. I forgot I was in this house. Okay, what I'm referring to is somewhere there. Those are the birdhouses. That's the chicken coop. And I built a couple of these, again, using Axiom. So these are arrow entities sticking into a couple of targets, which I think look cool, but they take up a lot of space. So empty cages, that is a good idea. Gotta go back to work. Good luck with your work shift. You could use lightning rods facing into a mangrove log to look like a pig on a spit. I'm fighting Vester now. No fighting Vester. Or anyone else. Okay, how much space do I realistically have? If I do, I don't think I need a path running to there, but I would like to do Small path. Here, we'll do it like... So that needs to run to there and then to there. Then we need the pig pen. Not pig pen, animal pen. Sorry. Whoops. There we go, something like that. Gonna do a little thatch roof, I think. Thatch on a low angle isn't really great, but I don't know. I think it's... I don't think it's the end of the world. I think you just have to change it a bit more often. I think that's all. There we go. Little kennel space, couple of dogs. Whoop. Oh, hit my mic. Oh, maybe an armored dog. That would be cool. Why am I in all caps? Okay, okay. What are we up to? Gang, no fighting and hold on. Here's an interesting question. Do you guys think enough sunlight would get to this block here, like these couple blocks, for them to be grass? Or do you think that they would be more like dirt? I don't really know enough about like the sun. They don't teach us that in anthropology school, I'll be honest. No one ever teaches you about the sun. Oh, are you sitting? There you go. Sit down. There you go. I'm not a huge fan of how the wolf armor looks in this game, but like it's fine. I don't know. My only issue is that it just isn't what historical wolf armor looks like, so it looks a bit goofy. That's all. There we go. Oh, this is awful. What am I doing here? Oh, jeez. This looks goofy, but I don't know. I don't think this... It's like fine. I don't know. I don't think that's the end of the world. Maybe if we just put some tall grass here. Okay. Depending on the plants. Ooh, that's a good idea. That I have light directly over it. I don't think that's right. I'd say no, sunlight would probably reach it. Curious on time zones for the chat. Interesting question. Here, let me do something like this. Probably go like that and come in. I think it adds just a bit of visual interest, honestly. Like so. I'll do like 1, 2, just to kind of fill that out. There we go. That's nice. I'll have to come in here and do like actual like leaf stuff, leafery vegetation. Maybe I'll do a... Guys, does anyone know bathrooms? I've tried to look up some stuff about medieval bathrooms, but they always just show you like the ones in the castles. Like, did most people just like use a chamber pot? Did outhouses exist? I don't know. I'm thinking of doing like another little midden heap thing here. Dripstone. Da, da, da. That doesn't look good. Okay, that's better. They dug a hole or used a pot. Community poop sesh with the bros. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to do a community poop sesh with the bros. No offense to the bros, really. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I know we have different senses of privacy than people used to have, but I feel like if I lived in the Middle Ages, I still wouldn't be super down for the community poop sesh. It's just like my gut feeling is telling me that. What can I put here? Ba 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 bum. Oh my god, my ears just popped. I didn't even realize they were not like. I only know about Victorian bathrooms. They throw their manure out the window. I don't know this. A Ocean saying they probably had porcelain. See, I don't think rich. I think poor people do not have porcelain. Yeah, the Roman bathrooms communal thing doesn't seem fun. Like, I don't really want to. Like, I know they dip it in vinegar, but I don't really want to share the poop stick. I'll be 100% honest. I do not want to share the poop stick. I'm gonna put some bone meal back here, I think, because like, I think it's funny to think like the dogs are chewing up the bones and turning them into bone meal. It's too bright though. That's my issue. Hold on. Um, huh. I guess I've never picked up a piece of gunpowder in this world. We can say that's just like soot from the kitchens, basically. Uh, ba 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 bum. No, that doesn't work. It has to be like there has to be a vertical difference, basically. You can't just make it all vertically the same, unfortunately. Otherwise, it's just like you just don't get the vibe. No. What if I did like, could I do that? No, you can't do diagonal stairs. Um, hmm. Wester X says I have a ranch. Damn, that's crazy. I don't know why. I imagine like, okay, so here's the thing, guys, right? YouTube gives me demographics. That looks pretty cool. I'm happy with how this yard is turning out. I don't think it needs much more. YouTube gives me demographics, right? And from that you'd think like, oh, so he knows about his audience. But I don't because people lie. And YouTube tells me that all my audience is 18 or like is in the 18 to 24 range. And I know that some of you aren't, like statistically. There's no way that every single person in this chat right now is a legal adult. But I don't know who, like, I have no idea about the actual statistical, like, it's weird. Like, is sir a word in a native language? Okay, I like a Game of Thrones. Like, I like the Game of Thrones books, and I like A Song of Ice and Fire. And in those books, the author George R. R. Martin wrote the word sir as like Sir SER, and that is the reason for my name. That's just it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here next to him. I feel like he'd be eating it. So um put some buttons in here. Maybe it's droppings, maybe it's something else. Who's to say? Whoops. Go. Uh there we go. I'm 43 and uh 43 I'm surprised by, but I know that it's not the oldest because I know one of my viewers is like one of my viewers is in their 50s. And I think someone in the Discord is third. I'm gonna be honest, I get the strong feeling that the Discord is like uh skewed toward like more teenagers. But I can't confirm that. That's just my gut feeling. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Undo. That's the difference between like doing it like this versus doing with like fill commands is that you can undo the commands like in this, which I wish you could undo commands in Minecraft. It'd be so much better. Um, I'm back, boys. I disconnected. I'm still hip with the kids for real. What kind of toothbrush do you have? Uh, what are the kinds of toothbrush? I don't. You mean like electric? I don't use an electric toothbrush. I haven't since I was like 6. My grandmother's place, they used to have electric toothbrushes, so I just haven't slept over at my grandma's house for a while, guys. I guess that kind of makes me a bad grandson. I don't know. There we go. That's not bad. Like so, like so. Come in here. This doesn't really make sense. There we go. Okay, that's like fine. It's not perfect, but you know, like we're getting somewhere. We did a lot of work on the stream so far. Partly because we stayed an hour and a half more than I was intending to. What was the inspiration for the channel name? I'm gonna be honest, guys. This was a YouTube account before it was a channel. For like, I made this account when I made this account in 2015, right? So I was in high school. Like I wasn't. Well, I don't even know if I was in high school. I might have been middle school. Whatever. And some places don't make that distinction. Or the point being, it's just the name Bob Ross, but I lengthened Bob to Bobert for reasons of I was in like high school and I thought it was funny. Uh, I asked, so I did a channel poll like a while ago, And I asked people like on the channel, like, guys, I kind of want to be like a like I didn't ever expect like that this would be like I didn't think this YouTube channel would really take off like this hard. Should I change the name? And everyone said no. So I thought about changing it, but everyone said like no, you should keep Bobert Ross. So I kept it, but it's I don't know, it's like a random name I chose. Um the good thing is it gives me like a pseudonym to use online. God damn it. Ah, sorry. Um People tend to call me Robert or Ross in the comments, and that suits me well because I wouldn't feel comfortable giving my real name to anybody on like YouTube. Hmm. I might make this another poop pile. There we go. Here, we'll make this. I mean, there's technically direct sunlight, but I feel like there wouldn't be getting much sunlight. Like, you get sunlight for like half an hour a day. Like, there we go. And now there's you know, a poop pit. Easy peasy. One thing about doing YouTube is that I've gotten better at typing with my left hand because my microphone is between like my right hand and my keyboard, so I can't really type with my right. Your real name is Bandon, I guarantee. Yeah, man. It's secretly Bandon Ross. Okay, that looks weird. Hold on. I'll figure it out. The video I did a little bit ago on like diegetic terraforming, like I think this is a good example because realistically, anybody who had this for their backyard would terraform it a bit. Like, there's nobody who'd be happy with just having it be like weird, unusable backyard. So like everybody would like genuinely just like terraform it. Um, okay, the backyard. I can't do the backyards because the backyards are dependent on the people who live there, and I don't remember who lives where, to be honest. I think this one's the baker. So in a baker's backyard, I need eggs for sure. I think a baker would totally have a like a chicken coop with eggs. Whoa, okay. You know, it'd be nice if you could make Minecraft animals sit, like not just dogs, but I would love like to make chickens just not jump everywhere. That'd be great. I'd kill for that feature. Ba-ba-bum. Here, let's go down with a very narrow path. Like so. Very simple. Wee wee. I don't know what I'm gonna put here. I'll figure it out. What else would a baker want? I don't know. I'm gonna head out, guys. See y'all later. Nighty night. That's a good point. I should go to bed very soon. What if pigs could roll around? That could be cool. Your town looks great. Thank you. Middle Ages context, most everyone would have a garden. I agree. These are technically gardens. It's just, it's very difficult to do like good looking gardens in Minecraft. I don't know if you get what I mean. Yeah. I agree though. This is like most of this stuff is going to be gardens basically. But chicken coop. Oh, a little bit big. A little bit big. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep the big coop. No, that doesn't work. Hold on. I'll go like that. It'll be a small coop. You see, it'll be a small coop like this. And then I'll go like this. Like so. I didn't realize it was gonna be like in the wall. Oh my god. No. The structural integrity. Okay, and then okay. If this becomes like so and like so, then oh my god, okay. There we go. That's not too bad. That wasn't too bad. I wish path blocks connected vertically. Yeah. Interesting factoid. Pigs will generally sleep in one area, defecate in another, eat in a third, and rest in a fourth. Yeah, pigs are cool. Do you build your paths from a packed mud and mud brick alone? Okay, the Brewerstown paths are... I can tell you the percentage, but look, the actual blocks, it is a mix of brown mushroom and packed mud with a couple of spots of rooted dirt and coarse dirt, and then the slabs are all mud brick. If you guys want to recreate it, and you have like Axiom or whatever, I'll show you. So it's 60% packed mud, 20% brown mushroom, 15% coarse dirt, and 15% rooted dirt, 5% coarse dirt. I work at a radius of 2 with a scale of 6, and it is splatter noise. So my noise preview looks like that. That's the seed. Uh, 4:35 p.m. where I am. Oh yeah, that's so late. Put an egg in some of the chicken nests. That's a good idea. I will. Here, I'll put an egg in there. Or maybe, hold on. I'll do... Here, I'll do a couple of these, and then these shouldn't hatch. I think these should just stay there. Ba-ba-bum. There we go. That was a couple of eggs in there. I know chicken eggs don't usually have spots, but I think that's better than putting an item, because I think the item would be hard to see, basically. But if I come back in, to here. Animal pen, like so. Oh, here's the part I always hate about dealing with Minecraft mobs is you gotta just spam barriers just everywhere. They'll find a way. I don't know how, but life finds a way. That's cool. No, it's not. Hold on. Hold on. Egg makes it look like chicken got mutated. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could replace it with a sniffer egg, but sniffer egg is like also weirdly colored, so that doesn't really solve my problem. You know what though? It's 11:41 where I am right now. We've done a lot of good work. We did a bit of work in there, behind there, that house, that backyard, this backyard. We did some detailing work throughout here, flipped a building around. I'm happy with the amount of work we got done. I think this is coming to a close, so I'm gonna say good night, guys, and I'm gonna try and turn off the stream in a timely manner. It's always kind of a weird thing with the delay, but it was very nice chatting with you guys. Stayed on longer than I expected because I was having a lot of fun, and I will see you guys in a video sometime soon. Good night, guys.